claim this planet in the name of the Earth.
I claim this planet in the name of Mars.
Blaze 434.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up, everybody? How y'all doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wake up, nigga. Good morning, Negro land. What's up with it? What up, Tony? How you doing, big brother? Look, I wasn't going live going against your audience. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about something. I wanted to talk about something. Today is a trigger warning. Today, ladies and gentlemen, it is a trigger warning. It is a trigger warning Monday. You already know what the fuck it is. It is a trigger warning Monday, and we about to get it the fuck in. Okay? We're gonna talk about Dave fucking Chappelle. A lot of controversy going on with Dave Chappelle right now. Lots and lots and lots and lots of controversy with Dave fucking Chappelle. So we gonna do this shit. You know what I mean? And we're gonna talk about this a little bit. Maybe we might get a guest in a minute. We might get a guest after a while. You know, we might get a couple guests after a while. But it is fucking Monday, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, October fucking 11th, 2021. And this morning we are going to talk about Dave Chappelle versus the LBGTQIZY plus community. The outrage by the LGBT community based upon his recent special on Netflix called The Closer. Okay? So sit back, relax, and I don't know, think about taking a different position. Maybe listen to other people's side a little bit, and maybe you might just learn something today. I might just be able to learn you something today. You never know. Maybe I won't. And maybe you'll learn me something. Who knows? But we gonna fucking have that conversation because I think it's kind of important. I think Dave Chappelle's special is actually really good. You know what I mean? I thought it was really good. And I think we need to have a conversation about it because there's a lot of people that's real pissed the fuck off, man. Lots and lots and lots of people. This group called GLAD. Some LGBT people, they're like, oh no, we gotta cancel them. And, you know, Netflix cancel his special and take it off. Take off the special. you know, which I find kind of funny. I think it just goes to prove Dave Chappelle's point, you know. So we're gonna get into it a little bit, man. How many people have seen The Closer? I don't know how many people are even in here, but if you've seen The Closer, go ahead and fucking put a 1 in the room. You know what I mean? And Dave touches on a lot of different things in The Closer, man. He does. He touches on a lot of things in The Closer, man. I think it's a really good fucking video, man. I really do. I think it's a great fucking special.
Transgender.
Oops. My bad. I don't wanna.
So
Let me do this real quick. Let me put that like this. Let me play that because I'm gonna play a few different things, man. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? You know, there's a few things that I think are very, very interesting about this whole situation. And I think that we should like get into it. So, all right. So first, let me see if this will work now. Okay, dang, I think it's gonna work now. Cool. I think I got it. So we're gonna start there. There is a black trans comedian who was on CNN, I believe, with Don Lemon. And I want you guys to kind of hear what she has to say and her personal opinions on it real quick as we start this, because I'm going to bring in a couple things and we're going to talk about a few things, right? So the first thing I want you to do is, again, this is a black trans comedian. Okay? Real quick, all rights reserved. I do not have the rights to any of these, but under Fair Use Act, I am using this. So again, don't fucking strike me, even though I probably will get striked yet again on YouTube. But that's okay. You know why? Because I don't give a shit. And guess what? I don't need to give a shit. I really don't. All right? So let's get into this shit real quick, shall we? I'm gonna start here, and there's a reason why I'm kind of starting here. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna fucking I'm gonna bring up some clips of it, and I'm gonna read a couple articles. There's a couple articles written about this, and I'm gonna read some and shit, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit. All right? So kind of be patient with me a little bit. If you hear the music in the background, that's Lace 434. Go check Lace 434 out on YouTube. Great dude, great music, great producer. This guy makes phenomenal beats. Okay. But let's get into this real quick. This is a comedian, and they will give her name in just a second. So with that being said, let's play this, shall we?
But listen, your stand-up can also be seen on Netflix. What do you think? Did the jokes cross the line for you?
Well, see, I have 3 dogs in this fight, so let me start there. I'm black.
Of course they want to fucking play with me when I fucking playing this shit. You know what I mean? Of course this is what the fucking wants to do. Jesus Christ. I hate this shit. I really do. I hate this shit. I don't know why this keeps on happening, but let's try it again. Let's see.
I am a comedian, and I am transgendered. So I have 3 dogs in this fight, and I want to be fair to each and every one of those platforms. What I heard from Dave Chappelle's latest special was the the overpouring of racism that he talked about, because I understand that he's talked about the transgender community and some of the things were painful to hear, but funny, because as a comedian, that is our safe place. That is where we are the safest on stage, where we should feel like we should be able to say anything. Nina Simone said it best. How can you be an artist and not speak about the times? He says it in socially inappropriate ways that people say is not politically correct, but it's teachable moments. And there was no lies told.
So you heard it from fucking the horse's mouth right there. No lies told in the whole thing. So I want to start with that. I just wanted to start with that because I think it's really fucking important, because I don't think a lot of people understood the video. Right? I don't think a lot of people understood the special in itself. Right? Um a lot of people were like, "Oh, he hates trans people, and blase, and all this other shit." But I don't see that to be true, right? I don't see that to be true at all. So I wanted to first play that, and then I wanted to actually put this on the screen too. Why we talk about this? This is the young trans woman that Dave was talking about inside. Oops, wait, let me see. Boop, 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 boop. This is the trans woman that Dave Chappelle was speaking about in the video, right? In his routine. This is this woman's name is Daphne Dorman, okay? And she did die in 2019 by committing suicide. She's no longer with us. But her family, right? Dave Chappelle was defended by her sisters, okay? By the family. That he was defended by them. The family of a prominent mention the family of a woman prominently mentioned in the comedian Dave Chappelle in his new Netflix special The Closer has spoken out in his defense. Chappelle is under fire for controversial comments he made about the trans community in The Closer. What's up, Heavenly Dew? How you doing? All right. In the special, Dave spoke about his friendship with Daphne Dorman, a trans woman and a fellow comedian from the San Francisco area, and she died by suicide in 2019, like I just said. In a text message to the Daily Beast, Dorman's sister Becky wrote, Daphne was in awe of Dave's graciousness. She did not find his jokes rude, crude, off-coloring, off-putting, anything. She thought his jokes were funny. Daphne understood humor and comedy. She was not offended. Why would her family be offended? All right. And that's what her sister said. Dorman's younger sister, Brandy, agreed and called Dave Chappelle an LGBTQ ally. In the special and in other comments, Chappelle had touched on some of the sore points with the trans community. He noted the cancellation of Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling as one particular injustice. Rowling had been labeled a TERF, a trans exclusionary radical feminist, for her comments on gender. Quote, they canceled J.K. Rowling. My God. They said he said in The Closer, affectionately, she said gender was fact. The trans community got mad as shit and they started calling her a TERF. I am a TERF. Dave Chappelle added that gender is fact and that every human being in the room, every human being on earth had to pass through the legs of a woman to be on earth. The Closer spends a lot of time on Dorman. The Closer spends a lot of time on Dorman, a comedian friend of Chappelle's who opened for him. Chappelle closes the story by saying he set up a trust for Dorman's daughter and hoped to speak with her on Sunday that she knew her father and that he was a hell of a woman, he said. And that was a funny thing. So again, the family, I also team turf all the way. So the thing is I don't see anything wrong. What's up, Nikki? With what he said, ultimately. And so I think that a lot of people had a problem with this. Well, let's talk about first off this whole team turf and this turf narrative and things of that nature. Let's talk about that. Okay? Well, what he said was true. Now there was a girl on the Young Turks who thought she really fucking caught fucking Dave Chappelle by saying, yeah, trans women or there are trans men that have, babies. And she also wanted to point out that not all babies, good morning, not all babies actually come from in between a woman's legs because women have cesareans. Yeah, Mrs. Lady from the Young Turks, you're stupid and you missed the point. The point was everyone comes from a woman, a biological woman. Now, I don't understand why this is such a controversy. Look, I can respect trans people and I can say, look, man, yeah, okay, trans women are women. Okay, cool. Right? Blacklight is not here right now. Hopefully he will be joining soon. I'm not sure. He said he was on the phone, but he said he was going to come in. So hopefully he is not on the phone cupcaking or fighting over stupid shit, and he'll be able to join us for this conversation. Okay? The fact of the matter is in order for you to reproduce, you have to have a biological woman's equipment, period. It's just what it is. Which means you have to be born biologically a woman. Okay, so you might be a trans male, right, from woman to male, but you still have your woman bits, and that's the only way a trans male could ever give birth, which means that their reproductive system is working, and which means that they were born female. Now, you can have gender dysphoria. I understand that. And you can believe that you were born as a female, but you feel like a man. I understand that. But I think the LGBT community and a lot of people who are celebrating and trying to back up the LGBT community is really trying to push this narrative that all women are women, including trans women. Well, technically, no, you're not. Like, I don't know what's so wrong with saying that. Trans women are women, but they are trans women. Biological women are women. Period. Like, biological women have equipment to do what a woman's body does. I don't know why this is so hard to understand. So they want to say, oh yeah, I'll never understand why that needs to be explained. I don't understand why that needs to be explained either. And I actually find it really kind of disrespectful on women, to be completely honest. And I also think, and I'm going to say it, and people are probably going to really hate what the fuck I'm about to say. I actually think drag and trans women are nothing more than a musical show of black women. There, I said it. I not only believe that, but I also believe that gay men are also a musical show of black women. I do. I truly believe that. Okay. And it is what a man perceives how black women act. Right? So they are, you always have the sassy black woman, right? The loud black woman, right? Oh no, you didn't, right? All this shit, right? But when you get a gay male, a trans woman, and a drag woman, what they often do is they take this stereotype and they notch it up about 10 to 100%. And so what they do is they do this musical show of what they think black women are. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I actually think that it is a slap in the face of all women when trans women really fucking go off and do this shit. And I also think it's a double slap in the face, like pow, pow, it's a front hand and a backhand to black women. Because not only are they saying, yeah, I'm just as good as you, if not better as a woman, but gonna I'm gonna fucking stereotype you in this really disheartening, disingenuous, very disrespectful way. Okay? And that's just what I believe. And you can call me transphobic if you want, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say, well, if we got transphobia and homophobia, then we have cisphobia or straight phobia also. So I would say that you are straight phobic. So we're even. Right? I think it's even more of a disrespect because I think it's a triple slap on black women because of a few other things. What's up, Shatira? How you doing? You know you're welcome to come up if you want. But I'm going to show you why I think it's even more disrespectful. And just give me a quick second. I'm going to pull up. You know what I mean? I'm going to pull up a few other things. Now, and it's going to kind of lead to the next thing that I kind of want to talk about. And we're going to, again, I'm going to play a few things. All right. But a lot of people are saying that the transphobic nature of Dave Chappelle's show helps fuel the violence against trans individuals, which for me, I would say that is another disrespect to black women. And I'm going to tell you why. They keep on talking about this year is going to be one of the worst years on record against trans women in a long time. And Blacklight, you are welcome to come up. You are already invited into the fucking room, and I would like your commentary. So hurry your slow ass up. Okay. Um, but there's something that really bugs me because what they keep on doing is they keep on trying to call out, which is really funny. They keep on saying, it's going to be the most dangerous fucking year, most deadly year for trans women, which, again, maybe, right? But it's kind of like, how they were using the same narrative for Asian folks when they were pulling the whole anti-Asian hate narrative. And they were saying things like, hate crimes against Asians have fucking rose 2,000%. 2,000%. Right? So, or 200%, or, you know, whatever the fuck percentage they said. Right? So if you have one motherfucking Asian, anti-Asian killed one year, like let's say last year, right? And then this year, you have 10 Asians killed by supposed anti-Asian hate. That is an increase of 10,000% or 1,000%. You understand what I'm saying? So when you try to break this shit down, what it ultimately is doing is trying to make it seem like it's a whole lot, right? And let's just go with it. This is a LGBT website that I went to. Fatal violence against the transgendered and gender non-conforming community in 2021. Sadly, 2021 has already seen at least 38 transgendered or gender non-conforming people fatally shot or killed by other violent means. We say it at least because too often these stories go unreported or misreported. In previous years, the majority of these people were Black and Latinx transgendered women. Again, tokenism at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you want to realize it or not, this is the reason why. This is the reason why. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm going to, hold on. I'm going to pause that real quick because I'm going to that next. This is the reason why it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous because Dave Chappelle's fucking comedy is going to lead to trans fucking deaths in this country. Now, I've already talked about trans deaths in this country. And again, when they say misreported, yes, I'm going to fucking agree, but I'm not going to agree in the same way they say it's misreported because they want to act like these trans deaths are based upon transphobia. When, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, they're not. A large majority of transgender deaths are actually usually in the lanes of domestic violence, meaning a trans person was dating another person and they killed the trans person for whatever reason. That's not being killed because they hate trans people because they were just in a relationship with a trans person, which, if you really want to fucking put it out there, that's technically LGBT on LGBT violence. But hey, who's fucking calling that shit out? Nobody but fucking me. But hey, I'll just kind of digress from that and move the fuck on. But hey, let's talk about it, shall we? Well, here's the number of fucking, right here, I believe it's 38 women, 38 different trans women, 38 of them so far this year. Now, again, it might seem like a lot. Oh, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, that seems like a lot. 38 does seem like a lot. And whether anybody wants to admit it, they actually get more publicity for their deaths than Black women do. Why do I say what I say? Because this year is just as bad as last year. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Black girls and women killed at a rate of 4 per day in 2020 as a homicides increase. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if 4 women a day are being killed, 4 Black women a day are being killed, okay? Times that by 365 and you do the fucking math. So like 12 fucking hundred women, black women alone killed. Now, I don't know about you. But last time I checked, 1,200 was a whole lot higher than motherfucking 44. It was a whole lot more than 38. It's a whole lot more than 50, whatever the fuck it might be by the end of the year. But how often are you seeing black women and the violence that's perpetrated against black women all over the media? Shit. How often do you see a black girl that's profiled on the news when she goes missing? How much national news is put on black women when they go missing and are found dead? Wait, we just had a white woman who got national coverage. Meanwhile, in between while, there were 4 black women who went missing. Now, all but one of those women has been found dead. But there wasn't a fucking iota of national news that was fucking talked about for those black women. So what's going on is black women they're trying to replace black women in a lot of senses. And they're trying to act as if they're more important than black women. Well, I say no. I say all deaths are important, but again, I think it's kind of important that black women are actually fucking profiled sometimes on national TV. I think we should be making a little bit more of a big deal, about black women going missing and being killed. Now, I might be being a little bit of a fucking transphobe, I guess. I don't know what you would call it, but I wouldn't call it a transphobe. I'm just pointing out facts. I'm just pointing out facts, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to play this little video real quick. I think this young woman kind of doubles down on my point a little bit, and I believe she does it in a little bit more of more eloquent way. So what's up, Elliot? How you doing? So let's get into it a little bit, shall we? I think it's very important. Right, call it a personal opinion. So let's get into it. Let's watch this video about this young lady real quick. Let's go.
We've never heard of and never seen in the black community come out and try to tear down one of the only black celebrities who've had the courage to speak on the bias and the catering to that the LGBTQ community receives from the media. Now, all Dave Chappelle did was give an example of how it's okay in American culture, society, and media for rappers to promote violence in the black community towards black.
Again, I apologize. My shit keeps on fucking up, but we're going to get through it.
Black men, but it's not okay to even slightly offend the LGBTQ community.
Google it. The baby shot and killed a in Walmart in North Carolina. Nothing bad happened to his career. Do you see where I'm going with this? In our country, you can shoot and kill a but you better not hurt a gay person's feelings.
Now, the National Black Justice Coalition claims that Dave was somehow perpetuating transphobia, which perpetuates violence, and that 2021 is on track to be the deadliest year on record for transgender people in the United States, thus justifying Netflix to be able to cancel his show. Now, Black people, I had to go look this up myself because the way they're canceling folks who speak on anything about the LGBTQ community, I thought I was about to see transgender people being killed in the hundreds and the tens of thousands. Literally, 28 transgender people have been killed.
And I don't know if it's changed since this video, but it's 38 now.
So far in 2021. I tell you, I cannot make this up. 28. According to Forbes, 350 transgender people were killed in 2020, and only 28 of those deaths happened in the United States. Now, don't get me wrong, any life that's lost unjustly is unacceptable, but this doesn't even make up 1% of the amount of Black women who died in 2021 and 2020, or the amount of Black men who died or were killed by the police. Are you kidding me? Now, at least 4 Black women and girls are murdered per day in the United States. 75,000 Black girls and women are missing in the United States. I haven't seen the LGBTQ community coming out and crying about how Black rappers and Black celebrities should be canceled for degrading Black women, and they are dying at higher rates, extremely higher rates than transgender and the LGBTQ. Is let some.
So there it is, right? And she ain't wrong, because I actually, you know what I mean? This is a Black woman. I just want to point this out. This is a Black woman. You know what I mean? And she was right. I actually went back and checked it. You see what I'm saying? All right. And so that is something that is a true statement. Now, I was just sent this. Okay, so this is with white women. I will pull that up in just a short time. Give me some minute and I will pull that up. And we'll listen to that. Okay? Someone is allowed to identify as whatever sex they want. I should be allowed to identify as vaccinated. Okay, Elliot, we're not going to make this about the vaccines. We're really not going to do that shit today. I'm sorry. Sorry, brother. We're not doing that one today. You know what I mean? We're not doing that shit today. Sorry. I'm just, yeah. I'm not gonna necessarily fucking disagree with you. But I can find flaws in that argument also. But we're not gonna do that one today. I just went through actually explaining why some of these things are not the same. So I'm just not gonna do that one today. But that was the young lady speaking on this situation, and I think that it was right for her to, do so. I also wanted to make sure that people understand. I don't care what you identify as. I don't really give a shit. But I shouldn't be forced. At the end of the day, and I want people to understand this, that at the end of the day, I shouldn't be forced to deal. I know. I get his joke too. I'm just not doing it today. That's all. But I do understand his joke also. All right. So the thing is we're having this conversation, right? And it's LGBT, right? And I do think that LGBT right now is kind of overstepping bounds. And let me do something real quick. Let me pull this up. Let me see. What I'm going to do is I am going to share this, copy link, bang, and then we are going to go right here, and then we're going to go right here, we'll go right here, and then we will post that right here since I'm already on here. We want to do this. And then, since we're there, we're going to go back up. And we are going to... Okay, and then we're going to go to this. All right, bang, and then we're going to play that. That's what we're going to do. We're going to play this. Right, it is a lot of divide and conquer, but I've already told people that I am very, very fucking serious that black LGBT should not be working hand in hand with the white LGBT groups. I'm sorry, they're just used as tokens, and that's just my personal opinion. But let's listen, and I'm just going to play the audio to this. I'm just going to play the audio. So let's listen to this. This comes from, I believe it's a UK TV show called This Morning, and it's about a feminist blogger who believes trans women aren't real women. So let's listen to what they got to say. And again, this might be a little bit of a trigger warning, but we had to have this conversation. So let's listen.
Kelly, first of all, tell us why you was this just you, or was this part of standing up for women? This is a pressure group you're involved with.
So it's part of standing for women, but it was something I really wanted to do, because I've noticed over the last few years we seem to be losing the word woman. So we might be called cervix havers or menstruators. Well, in cervical cancer campaign material, the word woman doesn't appear. Menstruators, chest feeders, pregnant people. And I just thought the essence of this debate and what we're losing is literally the word woman to mean adult human female.
But people seem to be embracing the word woman as well. You're saying that it's disappearing. I think that that's not entirely the case. I mean, I think women are being very much embraced at the moment as well. We're very much in the news. Women are taking over very high positions of power. Do you not agree that that females are being celebrated?
Well, you say female and woman interchangeably, and I would agree with you, but that isn't what's happening in the public sphere. So we had Philip Bunce just winning a woman sort of entrepreneur award or business award, and he just wears a dress one day a week. So it's being diluted.
So how do you define
look, wait a minute. As a man on the outside here, right? This just makes me feel that you're making the word female more exclusive than inclusive. You're claiming it back. You're fighting for it back,
Absolutely.
Right? You think it's being diluted. Let me ask you, beside you, India Willoughby, she transitioned from a male to female, what, 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
Yeah. Why does she threaten you?
I think when you decide that men can come into women's space, it's no longer a women's space.
But she sees herself as a woman. You in every way, and they explained to me how you react to that assertion.
I just want to ask you, Kelly, what would make you happy? Would you want to shave my head? Would you make me want to wear boys' clothes? Take my driving license away and change it back to a male driving license?
Absolutely not. You can do anything you want, just you not be recognised as a woman in law.
But Kelly J,
I am
Kelly J,
recognised
if she
as a
sees
woman
herself
in
as a
law.
woman, do you have any sympathy that you're looking at a woman who was trapped in a man's body?
No, unfortunately, I really don't think you can change sex in any meaningful way. Every cell in the human body has got the DNA code of what sex you are. So India obviously looks like a woman, but I don't see India as a woman.
Right. And what is it about trans people that makes you so angry? I mean, me as an individual...
Here's my first issue with what she just said. What is it about trans people that makes you so angry? I don't think the woman is angry. I think the woman is trying to claim back woman, female. So these are forms and ways of talking. It's kind of like when I be talking to theists and they always try to play these little fucking semantic games. And this is what this trans woman is actually doing. So let's continue.
I've read some of your tweets, and you've said that trans people are out to annihilate women and extinguish them from the planet effectively. Now,
I don't think I've ever said that.
But you don't recognize trans people as women, do you?
No.
So,
okay, again, check this out. Listen, you notice how she just made it seem like, oh, you just think that trans women are out to annihilate women, and then she goes, I don't think I've ever said that. And she said she wanted to just, okay, let's move right on past that. Not acknowledge it. Not acknowledge that she never said that shit. She just wanted to move right past it. You see what I'm saying? These are little tactics that people do in order to try to make it seem like you're the bad guy. I want y'all to pay attention. That was real slick what she just did there. That was slick as shit. All right? So pay attention.
So what would you say to the, literally my mum is obviously a woman. She loves me to bits. My sister, you know, she just accepts me now as her sister. I've got literally hundreds of women friends. I just lead a normal life. So why is that
Why
troublesome
can't you
for
do that still as man?
No, but why is it your business?
Because it affects women in law and the way we live. It absolutely does.
It doesn't affect anyone.
Of course it does.
How does it affect us?
So, for example, if I was arrested today by a police officer who still had a penis but said he was a woman, he's allowed to intimately search me. Now, the reason he's allowed to intimately search me is because a transgender police officer who said he was a woman took the police to court to have that right, because he said it was discriminatory
But if
for
he
him not to
believes,
be able
if he
to.
believes he's a woman,
Again, I think that's a good point. I don't know if that law stands out here in America, but I think that's an excellent point for this woman in the UK. You know, if she doesn't feel comfortable with a trans woman searching her because that trans woman might still have genitals, her male genitals, I think she has a legitimate point right there. A man that has genitals cannot search a woman because of improper searching techniques. And they could do sexual assault against these people, against women, right? Well, just because you identify as a woman doesn't really mean anything. It just means that you identify as a female. So I think that's a great point. I'm sorry. Again, some people might say, oh, you're being transphobic again. But I don't know. That was an excellent point in my opinion. Let's keep going.
you're saying that doesn't make him a woman.
That's saying I have to indulge in that belief also, and I don't.
Ooh, and that's a great point there too. She's saying, I don't care that you identify as a woman, but why are you trying to force me to address you as a woman? If you want to go around and play dress up, then that's fine. But why are you trying to force that onto me? And this is what, you know what I mean? Am I freezing? I don't know if I'm freezing or not. I have no idea if I'm freezing. It doesn't look like I'm freezing on my device. So I apologize if I am. So I think that was a good point too, because at the end of the day, and if I am freezing, please let me know in the room so I can, take some things off and make it happen. All right. But I think that's a great point. I think Dave Chappelle had said that one time also, right? He said, look, you can go off, but why are you encroaching on my personal beliefs? Again, I don't think LGBT community understands. They understand full well that other people, they get it when they feel that people are infringing on their rights. They totally understand it. But they don't seem to understand it when the shoe is on the other foot. That's what I've been noticing. Now, I can't sit here and say that the whole LGBT community fucking does it on purpose. They do understand it, don't understand it, or what. But I do think that the LGBT is actually infringing on cis folks in a very big way because they're forcing us to acknowledge them as they want to be acknowledged. Well, okay, you want to be a woman, but that doesn't mean I have to view you as a real woman, like as a biological woman. And I think there's a very clear distinction between a trans woman and a biological woman. I don't care how you can call me as transphobe as you want. But I think there's a very clear difference between the two. Okay? And I shouldn't be forced to view you the same as a biological woman if I don't see you as a biological woman. I could still acknowledge you as a trans woman, right? I can still acknowledge you as a woman. But if you say, oh, well, if I say, well, I date biological women, then they say something like, oh, well, you're transphobic. But why? But why? Why am I transphobic if I want to be with a biological woman? How is that transphobic? I have a friend that actually tried to convince me of this, that it was transphobic. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't make no sense. And her argument was basically, if you are attracted to a trans woman, so like, let's say you see a trans woman, you're like, oh, wow, she's fucking gorgeous. And then fucking you find out that it's a trans woman, right? And then you say, no, I'm not interested. Then that's transphobic. And I said, no, it's not. She said, yeah, it is. I said, how? She goes, well, because you only don't like them because they're trans. And I said, yeah, and she was like, well, that's transphobic. How? And she tried to equate it to race. She said, well, if you think I'm attractive, but you won't date me because I'm black, right? That means you have, you have a little bit of anti-blackness in you. And I said, no. I mean, some people might, but you can't say that about all people. Maybe, I'm just not into black women if I say I don't date black women. Maybe it's just you that I'm not into. But you don't get to automatically say I'm anti-black woman because I won't date you. And you can't really say I'm anti-black woman if I say I don't want to date black women per se. Just for saying, well, that's just not what I get into. Like, there are these things called preferences really do matter. You can have a preference, right? And preference can be based in race, and it can be based in biology, and it can be based on not fucking dating someone who smokes and not fucking dating someone who fucking, does crack, or not date a woman who fucking pops pill or shoots heroin, right? Does that mean I'm heroin phobic? Does that mean I'm crack phobic? I'm crackhead phobic? If I don't date a crackhead? Does it mean that I'm AIDS or HIV phobic if I don't want to date you because you have AIDS? Does that make me STD phobic because, you know what I mean? Like you like there could be a lot of reasons why a person doesn't want to date you. And some people just have a preference. Some people say, well, I've dated all the different races. I've dated black women, white women, Asian women, Mexican, Latino women, right? And I just prefer this woman, this type of woman right here, white woman or Asian woman or, even black woman, right? If you're a black man and you only date black women, you not dating a white girl is not racist. I mean, yeah, I might be a little crackhead phobic. I can admit that. I might be a little crackhead phobic, right? I might be a little bit of dope head phobic. Yeah, I can understand that. Right? So the thing is my point is like, sometimes you just have preference. Sometimes, yeah, it is rooted in some sort of racism or hatred. But the fact of the matter is, it's not always that. And so you can't automatically try to use that as a default. The fact of the matter is, when we're talking about LGBT, Black and LGBT trans women, the fact of the matter is, if I do not date non-biological women, that does not make me transphobic. It means I'm not into fucking non-biological fucking women. Okay? Now, if you're a trans woman that still have your bits, that's even more of a no-no. Oh, well, you're not dating them because they have a dick. Yeah, I'm not dating them because they have a dick. Why? I don't fucking fuck with dick. If I wanted to fuck with dick, I'd fucking fuck with a dude. I want to fuck with a woman. Well, they are a woman. Yeah, but they have bits like a man. And there's some people out there that's willing to do that. That's willing to date, you know, trans women and trans women with bits still. But I'm not transphobic because I'm not one of them. And that's what this kind of gets into. Okay, let's keep on going real quick. It's almost done.
But when you're sitting with someone like India, who has from a very young age felt very wrong as a boy, has lived as a woman for many years.
What does that mean?
Had the full transgender reassignment surgery. I mean, there's a lot goes into this. That is not just done on a whim.
Yeah.
And you're now saying that she can't be a woman.
What does living as a woman actually mean?
Her.
What does living as a woman mean?
Ask me. I think that's a really good question. Well, you know, I have something called gender dysphoria. It's a recognized medical condition the world over for 50 years or so. And the treatment for somebody like me who felt gender dysphoria is the only way I can feel normal, if you like, is by transitioning. And I've transitioned and life is great. You know, I have no problems. I pay my taxes.
Okay.
You notice how she is not answering the question, what is it to live like a woman? You notice that, right? I want y'all to pay attention to that shit. And she pointed out a mental condition as part of somehow normalizing not giving an answer. Okay, keep on going.
I have
What
a
does living as a
responsible
woman mean?
job. I'm living as me. I'm living as me.
Yeah, but what does living as a
I don't
woman
know.
mean? We need
What
to
does it
define
mean to
these
you?
terms.
What does it mean?
And again, what does living as a woman mean? Can any woman in here answer that? Because I got my own personal opinions. But what does living as a woman mean? Well, my personal humble opinion, having female experiences such as, I don't know, having a period, ability to fucking conceive a baby, fucking, you know, those type of things. You know, I'm just saying. Naturally having tatas. You know, I don't know. Maybe there's some other things that I'm missing. Ladies, you can help me out.
Well, it means that I have a female body, and in the society in which I live, there is a two-way street. The way I feel about myself and the way that society views me. And unfortunately, no matter how I feel about myself, I can't enforce a society to indulge in my delusion.
Okay. Can I ask one?
But you're saying that she's deluded.
I'm saying that in
And yes, technically she is deluded because it's a mental condition called gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria. See, the thing is what I acknowledge gender dysphoria as a real thing. But my question would actually go into asking the question: is gender dysphoria maybe a different type of multiple personality? So, you know, if you have a person who has multiple people in their head, right? How do we treat those people? Right? Well, we give them meds, right? We give them meds. So that part of their brain stops working and they can have the one brain and they can live as the one person. People who don't take their meds, they live as multiple people, right? And we acknowledge that they have multiple people living within them. Now, she says, I'm gender dysphoria, which is, you know, psychological situation. Now, the question is, could she take some meds like multiple personality and then start feeling like a man again and feeling normal? Can gender dysphoria be fixed? Is it a mental is it brain damage, some sort of brain damage, or is it like, what is it, right? And I can't get into that because I'm not a psychologist, so I don't fucking really know, right? But those questions are usually asked. And I do find it very interesting that a psychological mental issue, people say, well, that is their true them. And I'm like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Because if somebody goes to you and says, I have a mental condition and I feel like I'm a horse, or I'm a fucking tiger or a lion or a gorilla, are you going to tell them, oh, okay, well then just transition into a fucking lion or a fucking ape or a horse or a tiger? Right? Is that what you're going to do? Is that what we're going to do as a society? We're going to say, oh, okay, we accept you for feeling like you're a dog. Now, we know that you feel like a dog because of this mental illness that you have, but because you want to be a dog, we're going to accept that. And then when you go in to fucking, have your fucking tail, your vestigial tail fucking come out, and you want to fucking pluck your whole body full of fucking hair so you get shaggy fucking hair, right, everywhere on your body, and then you want to walk on all fours, are we going to fucking say that's normal? Or are we going to say, yeah, that's a mental disorder and we're going to try to fix it? Right? You say, I feel like a shark. And then you go and get fucking all this fucking work done as a shark, and then you jump in the water and you try to swim like a fucking shark. And guess what? You can't fucking swim for very long underneath the water. And guess what? Because of the way your body is, after being in water for 24 fucking hours, guess what? You're going to start having organ failure. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You can't live in water 24 hours a day. Your body isn't built for that. But are we going to sit there and say, yeah, okay, yeah, they feel like a shark and we should respect them as a shark? They're trans species. You see how this works? Like, again, I'm just saying, I'm just kind of putting it out there, something to think about. What's up, Lisa? Let's keep on going.
India isn't a woman.
Yeah.
I'm saying that men cannot be women. And now India is free to live their life however they want.
So you wouldn't want me legally recognised as a woman. So let's say, for an instance, I could go out on a night and I got raped. So who would I go to a women's refuge in your world?
Well, no, because then it wouldn't be a women's refuge, would it?
So where would I go?
Well, you could raise money and make your own refuge.
So why are you trying to ghettoize
We're talking about
you are being very personal.
Okay, but you're asking me to keep talking about India. Let's talk about the broad basis of women and men.
But so India does represent a lot of people who have transitioned. She does. She speaks about it very openly.
Well, Miranda Yardley does too, and he doesn't agree remotely with India.
See, the trouble is, in this day and age, your poster was taken down, and one of the complaints the main complaint came from a Dr. Adrian Harrop, who is not trans, but describes himself as an ally of the transgender community. And he complained to the billboard company that your poster would serve to make transgender women feel unsafe. And in fact, it was a transphobic hate crime. Do you see yourself as, are you proud to be transphobic?
I don't know what transphobia means, unless it means that I don't.
For her and what she is.
You paid for a poster put
to
on a
talk about
wall.
women, adult human females, and the fact that it's deemed transphobic, it absolutely highlights the absurdity of what's going on.
And exactly, she does have a point right there. The absurdity that all of a sudden, you know, all of a sudden, if you say that you disagree with this lifestyle, you're automatically transphobic. Okay? You're automatically transphobic. Why is it that everybody else, you're automatically transphobic, Asian phobic, fucking gay phobic, homophobic, and fucking, Latino fucking phobic, you're racist and shit. But yet, when the fuck it comes to people talking shit about black folks, nah, you're just doing too much. You're just in your feelings. It's not that big of a deal. Why are you fucking making it about race? Well, why are you making it about gender? Why are you making it about sex? Why are you so anal to be called a woman? Why can't you just be happy with trans woman? I don't understand that. You are distinctly different from a biological woman. Why is that a problem? And why is that deemed to be transphobic when you call that out? And that's another problem that we have. Women can't dictate who actual women are. Why is that? Why can't women dictate who actual women are? I think it's easy to understand if you're biological, you know what I mean? Sorry about this. You know what I mean? Like if you're really like why can't there be a distinguishing difference between trans women and biological women? Why is that transphobic to say that? Everybody is othered. Everyone is othered. We have black folks, white folks, Latino folks, Asian folks, Indian folks, Middle Eastern folks. You got gay folks. We got straight folks. Now we got trans folks. What's the problem? I don't understand the trans woman's arguments. I'm sorry. It just doesn't make any sense to me. What up, Milton?
You've actually been investigated by the police for
Yeah, for
malicious
saying that you shouldn't.
communications.
No,
But what?
no. I was interviewed by West Yorkshire Police, of which I could make lots of comments about their behaviour, and they wanted to see test the law as to whether or not it's unlawful to say that you shouldn't take a 16-year-old to Thailand and castrate them.
But why is this your business? It's a
Oh, well, we're about to get into that, and that's where I'm going to stop this video because I have way too many issues on it with this. Okay, and so that is problematic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read these two articles. The first one is by a black man. It's a black man that wrote this article, and I'm not sure if he is a gay black man or not. I don't believe he is. I think he might be a gay black man, but I'm not quite sure. So don't quote me on this shit. Okay. The name of the article is, do you see where I'm going with this? And this actually just came out on the 10th, I believe. Yeah, it was just yesterday it came out. It's the article is in Context Media. So you can go check them out at contextmediagroup.com. And the article is called Do You See Where I'm Going with This? And then it says, so some of you have heard that Dave Chappelle has a new special on Netflix titled The Closer. It is a work where Black, white, Asian, Jewish, and LGBT people all get their turn under the heat of Chappelle's merciless social commentary. Within an hour of its release, and every hour since, social media and the blogosphere has been ablaze with reactions to both blazed with reactions both pro and con about it. But buried underneath the avalanche of opinions are some key points that Chappelle made. That whiteness overrules any form of marginalization. A white person is dealing with I'm going to reread that sentence. That whiteness overrules any form of marginalization a white person is dealing with. That in America, black life is cheap, and that there is a hierarchy of offense in America that black people are at the very bottom of. The core of the outrage over over Chappelle's new special is his jokes at the expense of transgendered individuals. I will not question the validity of how people feel, but the jokes must be taken as context that the contrasts and the advances in the protections other groups have made compared to those of Black Americans and the worth of Black lives in America. It is true that the baby killing another black man had no adverse effect on his career and may have even benefited it. Corporate control of hip hop has reduced mainstream hip hop culture to blood sport that resembles the Mandingo fighting from Django Unchained. The biggest or most aggressive brute stereotypes is the most credible and the most rewarded by the music industry and consumed by mostly white fan base. There is an entire network of blogs, podcasts, and reality shows that feed this machine, and there is no pushback from the groups who claim that to be allies of black people. Black LGBT people and activists have been calling out the racism in predominantly white LGBT organizations' faces for decades. Compare the swift public statements of condemnation of the baby from mainstream LGBT organizations with their near silence on Ed Buck, the wealthy Los Angeles political donor whose long and well-known history of predatory behavior led to the deaths of two black queer men. The statement about whiteness overruling every other consideration also works in reverse. Dave Chappelle is a very wealthy, influential, and powerful man, but he is still a black man. That fact can be used to negate his accomplishments whenever America chooses. History, even recent history, is filled with examples of this. And if we're going to address harm done to marginalized communities, Black Americans, no matter their sexual or gender identity, rank at the bottom of every socioeconomic success metric in America. The point is, outrage over being offended is all too often selective and led by white people with the power to enforce penalties for offending them. Black people have peeped this and are questioning out loud why we should be socio-political mules for the people who are silent about our struggles for the sake of solidarity that too often only flows one way. And we talk about that actually a lot in here because the fact of the matter, we talk about how we help all the other minority groups, but they don't ever come to our back and have our back. We do it with the LGBT community, but yet they never come to our fucking and have our back. It always flows one way, us helping them, basically us being tokens for them. There's also a question of what can be joked about and whom can do it. Dave Chappelle exists in the same timeline as Sarah Silverman, South Park, Family Guy, and Judd. I don't know how to say his name. I'm going to assume it's a Patel. All of whom have been celebrated for their dark humor and racially insensitive comedy. What makes Dave Chappelle outside of that tradition? Well, it is because of his dark comedy comes wrapped in his dark skin or because of the targets. I suspect many of the people outraged over the closer had no problem laughing at the black jokes told by Chappelle, Chris Rock, or scores of other comedians. Historically, the jester was the only member of the royal court who could speak truth to power, whether by force or custom. Black comedians have always walked the tightrope in America, skillfully couching harsh realities with humor. But where the work, where the work of Godfrey Cambridge, Dick Gregory, Richard Pryor, and George Carlin was mostly shared via albums and word of mouth in an era uh, when the public had time to absorb their material and discuss it at length. In the current age of immediate delivery and art and immediate reactions to it, thanks to social media, instant praise and outrage often hinders us from having a sit down with the ideas presented by our creatives. Dave Chappelle is a master using comedy as a medium to make American society see anti-blackness, injustice, and hypocrisy at its core, and every group contributes to that. People aren't angry with Chappelle; they're angry at the reflection in the mirror he held up. And I think that is absolutely fucking true. They are absolutely pissed off that he put a mirror to everyone's face. This other now this article that I want to get into, and it's going to kind of address what the young lady was just talking about, is a little bit longer, so you're going to have to kind of, deal with me. But it's called Dave Chappelle. Is he right? Dave Chappelle is right, isn't he? Okay. And he said the comedian defends reality, which is currently under siege. Andrew Sullivan is the author. He is a gay male, okay, a part of the LGBT community. And this is the reason why I picked this article to read, because I wanted you to hear his critique. And it says there's an understandable tendency to view the debate about transgender ideology today as a marginal issue affecting a minuscule number of people, and at most a trivial matter in the larger culture wars. And I can see why. It doesn't seem on the surface to be about maybe 0.2% of humanity. And if you venture an opinion on it, the consequences are intense. So why bother? And overwhelmingly, the elite media in the United States prevents readers from knowing that a debate is even happening, let alone what it's really about. If the argument is about gender theory gender theory is mentioned at all, it is dismissed as a bunch of anti-trans bigots, aka TERFs, hurting a beleaguered and tiny minority for some inconceivable but surely awful reason. And so when great living comedian Dave Chappelle bases almost an entire Netflix special on the subject, apparently hilarious and humane, brutal and true, and wades into the debate with Willie's on the exact same piece about the special will be written in much of the elite media. The elite media. Right in your country. Me, one, he's Number one, he's a bigot. The phobic jokes keep coming, and the jokes keep coming, and Chappelle wants to dance around rather than wallow in the boorishness or what is it? Decisive, decisive. I'm sorry. Decisiveness. Sorry, I can't even speak right now. And my motherfucking shit is actually there. We go. Now we're getting some more feedback. Now we're getting this back. All right. This divisiveness. Let me see. Where was I at? Boo, 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 boo. And says the Guardian review. Number two, he's out of date. All that is left is the same tired observation delivered behind a bizarre form of commiseration. You're borging? I can What the fuck is borging? Hold on. What the fuck is borging? I don't even know what the fuck borging is. Or are you saying you're boring? Should fix that shit. All right. Fix that shit. It says, let me see. He said, he's out of date. All that's left is the same tired observation delivered behind a bizarre form of commiseration. Oh, it stopped. It stopped. Oh, okay. And then it started up again. I totally apologize, everybody. Sometimes shit starts lagging the fuck out on here, so I'm gonna apologize for that. All right. Let me see where, because I keep on losing my place because I am noticing my connection is getting really funky. All right. Okay. This time he added a dash of J.K. Rowling solidarity and using someone else's death to validate his half decade of public stubbornness, according to IndieWire. NPR adds a multiracial whiteness edge too often in the closer. It just sounds like Chappelle is using white privilege to excuse his own homophobia and transphobia. Both the stubbornness and the bigot theme are reiterated in Vulture. Chappelle is full of outdated excuses, masking as a refusal to update a worldview. His head is up in his ass. He needs new ideas. And with respect to the marginalized, he's just asking you to take up less space, to usher in progress by giving other people time to come around to you. And guess what? They're all wrong. Chappelle's final Netflix special, The Closer, is a classic. Far from being outdated, it is slightly ahead of its time as the pushback against wokeness gains traction. And it is extremely funny, a bit meta, momentarily mischievous, and I sat with another homo through the whole thing. Again, homosexual, and he wrote homo, so don't fucking get on me about it. I'm just reading out the article. And I sat with another homo on through the whole thing, stone laughing our asses off, especially when he made fun of us. The way the elite media portrays us, you think every member of the BLT community is so fragile, we can't not laugh at ourselves. It doesn't occur to them that for many of us, Chappelle is a breath of honest air, doing what every comic should do. Take aim at every suffocating, petty, suffocating petty of the powers that be, including increational weird 2S LGBTQIA plus mafia. God damn, is that what they're known as now? 2S LGBTQIA plus. Y'all need to stop adding more of these motherfucking Jesus Christ. It's LGBT. God damn, y'all need to get the fuck off of that shit. And denoting them all. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, my kids came in here. Apologize. All right. Okay, let's keep on going. It says the closer is in fact a humanely brilliant indictment of elite culture at the moment in time. At this moment in time, a brutal exposure of its identitarian momenta. It is denial of its denial of reality and its ruthless tactics of personal and public destruction. It marks a real moment of punching up against the powerful, especially those who pretend they aren't. Bigoted please, anyone who can watch this special and think Dave Chappelle is homophobic or transphobic is either stupendously dumb or a touchy fanatic. He is no more transphobic than J.K. Rowling's, i.e., not at all. And the full set masterfully proves it to anyone with eyes and ears. In fact, it centers on Chappelle's friendship with a trans woman comedian, Daphne Dorman, who could give and take a joke, including about her own transness. It's a moving account of their friendship, brutal, unsentimental, yet crammed with empathy. And like many trans people, and few trans activists, Daphne did not demand capitulation to gender theory or as a condition of accepting her for who she was. I don't need you to understand me, Chappelle recalls saying to a rowdy crowd. I need you to believe that I am having a human experience. And this is her. And in this article, if you go to this article, you can actually watch Daphne doing her very first stand-up. This is the trans woman that he was talking about that actually did an opening set for Dave Chappelle. So they actually have a whole set of hers. It's about 15 minutes long. It's absolutely terrible, but still, it doesn't matter because she was doing what she loved to do. Okay. And she kind of was a hit with her own LGBT group. Okay. So it is what it is. All right. He continues. And through the jokes, that's what Chappelle is celebrating. The individual human, never defined entirely by a single identity or any intersectional variant thereof. An individual with enough agency to be able to laugh at herself, at others, and the world. An individual acutely aware of the tension between body and soul, feelings and facts in trans life as well as other kinds of life, assuming that marginalized people cannot tolerate humor at their own expense is a dehumanizing and assuming that they have no agency in their lives. It is a form of bigotry of the left. Now, this guy's clearly a little bit more on the right, okay? But it is still a legitimate thing. He's LGBT, he's probably just a little bit more right wing, okay? And the capacity for laughter, the target of every fundamentalism, left and right, is integral to being fully human. To remind us that trans person can laugh at herself is to remind us that she too is brimming with the kind of complex self-awareness that every mature human has. We laugh above all at the absurdity of our reality. And yeah, that's the second point Chappelle's makes. There's something called reality. We can deny it or we can accept it. Comedy's key role is that it helps us accept it. Whatever else this is seems to me to be the opposite of transphobia. Like Chappelle supports every law protecting trans people from discrimination. He believes in the dignity and equality of trans people as he insisted in the show. But he also believes that it is absurd to say that trans women is in every way indistinguishable from a woman because she isn't. Okay? The current debate, in other words, is not about being pro or anti-trans in the lazy formula of woke media. In the US, trans people are already protected under the Civil Rights Act of 1964, thanks to Justice Neil Gorsuch. And I literally know of no one who insists on the reality of biological sex who would disapprove of or reverse this. Okay? The debate rather is about whether a tiny group of fanatics empowered by every major cultural institution can compel or emotionally blackmail other people into saying things that are not true. This, in Chappelle's words, is what they are trying to force people to deny. And he goes on to quote Chappelle, gender is a fact. Every human being in this room, every human being on earth had to pass through the legs of a woman to be on earth. That is fact. Now, I'm not saying that that to say trans women aren't women. I'm just saying that those pussies they got, you know what I mean. I'm not saying it's not a pussy, but it's beyond pussy or impossible pussy. It tastes like pussy, but that's not quite what it is. That's not blood, it's beet juice. That was a very funny part of the thing, and I got that clip also. Okay. Yes, it's shocking, funny, wild, but not wrong. And this seems to me to be exactly what a comic is supposed to do. Point out that the current emperor has no clothes. A trans woman cannot give birth as a woman gives birth. She does not ovulate. Her vagina, if it exists, is a simu basically a simulation of one, created by multiple array of surgeries. Sex in humans is binary, with those few expectations at the margins, mixtures of the two, proving rather than disproving the rule. Until 5 minutes ago, this was too obvious to be stated. Now this objective is fact. This objective is fact is actually deemed a form of hate. So if you tell a trans woman she don't have a real pussy, she doesn't have the same experiences as biological women, that is deemed as hate. And that's what we're starting to see a lot of. This means that the debate is no longer about 0.2% of humanity. It's about imposing an anti-scientific falsehood on 99.8% of humanity. It means that we have to strip all women of their unique biological experience to deny any physical difference between men and women in sports, to tell all the boys and girls that they can choose their sex, to erase places reserved exclusively for biological women, like shelters for those who have been abused by men, and to come up with terms like pregnant people to describe mothers. Yes, mothers. The misogyny buried in this is gobsmacking. It's Mother's Day next for trans chopping block, and I actually never thought about this in that way. But male to female trans, when they try to say, I am a woman just like this biological woman, that is a form of misogyny. I never really thought about it like that. So I wanted to point that out. That's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to read this shit to you guys, because it's super important that we pay attention to this. It is misogyny. It's a man telling other women, I'm just as much of a woman as you are. That is fucking quintessentially misogyny. But go figure, right? I don't know. What the fuck do I know? Right? And the key thing is absolutely none of this is needed to protect trans people from any and all discrimination. Okay? And then he goes on, and I'm going to say, I'm only going to read a little bit more of this because I really want to get to this point. And I really hope you guys, and here, this is what I'm going to do. Hopefully, if you guys are in the fucking haps, I'm going to put the link inside the room and you can actually read this. I did. I knew we were heading in the wrong way when they insisted on changing the maxi pad box. So if you are on Haps, I just put in the link for this article. Let me present it on screen also. I know it doesn't fucking really mean too much to you, but that is Andrew Sullivan. So you can kind of look that shit up. But I'm going to read just a little bit more of this, and then we will continue on with the conversation. Okay. But I wanted to go back to, okay. All right, so I'm going to start by reading this, and I'm just going to read a couple paragraphs. The weapons deployed in pursuit of this fantasy are those that are always used by those seeking to impose utopia on a free people. The brutal hounding of dissent, the capture and control of every single cultural institution, the indoctrination of the young, cancellations, bullying, the costs are mounting across the West. People are being fired, targeted, prosecuted, and even jailed for stating biological facts. Children are being medicated with off-label drugs, puberty blockers, that can permanently sterilize them, arrest their neurological and mental development, and deprive them of the ability as adults to experience an orgasm. And this is where we're going to get into the medical processes of these things. I didn't know that, I didn't know the latter until I read the account by two leading transgender surgeons in medical treatment of children with gender dysphoria on Barry West's Substack. Okay, these doctors are not marginal to the field. They are Dr. Marcy Bowers, a world-renowned vaginoplasty specialist who operated on reality television star Jazz Jennings and Erica Anderson, a clinical psychologist at the University of California, San Francisco's Child and Adolescent Gender Clinic. They explained that when you halt puberty in a natal boy with a penis and then switch the kid to female hormones, the genitals remain like a child, never developed, and sensitivity of adolescence, and there is therefore not enough penile matter to invert into a created vagina. Surgeons sometimes have to take parts of the colon to patch it together. Money quote. Okay, it says, if you've never had an orgasm pre-surgery and then your puberty's blocked, it is very difficult to achieve that afterwards. Bauer said, I consider that a big problem, actually. It is kind of overlooked problem that in our informed consent of child undergoing puberty blocker, we've in some respect overlooked that a little bit. Okay? Which is saying a lot. They're saying when you put these kids that have not gone through puberty on puberty blockers because you want to say that they're trans, or they want to say that they're trans, and you just go along with it, that you can sterilize them, and not only sterilize them, but you can make it where they can never experience an orgasm ever again in their whole fucking life. Okay? You've eliminated that from them because you're not letting them grow up to be who they are. Not only that, but if they do end up transitioning later on, there isn't enough material there because it's been stuck in this prepubescent state, so they can't even make a proper vagina if they did want to fucking get changed. This is one of the reasons why I am actually very big on the fact of if you want to fucking be trans and all that shit, cool, but do not give your kids like blockers, puberty blockers, and don't let them start transitioning until after puberty. Because there's a lot of different problems that even go with that. All right. I'm going to continue. There's only a couple more that I want to kind of touch on real quick. The purposeful lifelong removal of sexual pleasure by operating on children. Where are we? Somalia? How on earth can a pubescent child meaningfully consent to that? The reason we are told it is hated and insensitive to discuss these actual realities, is that if we did, we'd be horrified. Which is why I'm not surprised that when these two leading trans physicians proposed and opted on this subject for the New York Times, a big scoop, they were turned down on the grounds that the subject was outside of their coverage priorities right now. Yet the paper just published this piece, which urges less gatekeeping and describes the current situation as 100% justifiable and safe. Basically, giving your kids puberty blockers and letting them transition before puberty. They're trying to push the narrative that it's 100% justifiable and safe. In contrast, these surgeons, transgender themselves, warn of sloppy healthcare in the rush to affirm any child's gender identification without sufficiently broad and patient exploration of mental health issues, increasing the numbers of detransitioners are blowing the whistle on those who rush them into changing their gender. The well-intended hubris of woke medicine may lead to a wave of lawsuits in the near future as misdiagnosed accumulate, with consequences that could mean the end of child medication as a whole. By overplaying their hands now, trans activists may lose everything in the future, and yet elites refuse to budge a millimeter. And then he goes on to say this: to be clear, I do not favor crude bans on healthcare for kids with gender dysphoria. I favor much greater caution, care, and concern for the sake of trans and gay kids and their families. The most prominent LGBT groups have no interest in preventing gay kids from being swept up in this and deny that it's even possible, and are now in the forefront of erasing the very existence of same sex as opposed to same gender attraction. Any engagement with biology is deemed a form of hate, and the more poignant the evidence of missteps in this revolutionary moment, the more furious and intense the urge to suppress it. The trans movement is now tragically the vanguard of the postmodern left's goal of dismantling science itself, because they believe that science is, in fact, merely an instrument of white supremacy. Wow. And see, this is what it is, right? And real quick, I want to read this last thing. In this battle, Chappelle is on the front lines, not of bigotry, but of objective reality. Remember Orwell's critical insight into totalitarian thought? The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. Who else, one wonders, has the courage to disobey? And this is a very intriguing article, okay? Because what it's saying is exactly what a lot of other people are bringing up, but nobody wants to talk about, because as soon as you start talking about these issues like puberty blockers, young kids saying they're trans when they could just be gay, right? But instead they're being pushed to this idea of, okay, well, you're not gay, maybe you're trans. And I actually see that as possibly a big problem, because people don't want their kids to be quote unquote gay. There's still kind of a stigma around this idea of gay, right? And so they would much rather their children fucking say, well, I'm a girl living in a boy's body, turn me into a girl, and then I can date boys. Now you can always say, well, my kid isn't gay anymore, right? And I honestly believe that's how a lot of people are thinking about this. I don't care what nobody says. Again, I'm assuming, but that's my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I don't understand how you can even have these ideas of what your gender is or what your sexual classification is before puberty, right? How many times have we known a little boy that used to fucking play with dolls, right? Or want to dress up in, his mom's dress or some shit, right? But then he grows up and he's not gay at all, right? He's, I don't know, metrosexual or in touch with his feminine side, but but he's not gay, right? Or he's just gay, but he wasn't a trans. He didn't want to fucking be a girl, right? See, the thing is we're pushing these kids to this idea that trans is it. When I think that, you know what, just accept your kid if they're gay. Fucking deal with it. It is what it is. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a whole bunch of kids that start detransitioning in about 10, 20 fucking years. And they're not going to be able to use their genitalia no more. They're going to be sterile. They're not going to be able to reproduce. They're not going to be able to do the actual transformation because they've already basically destroyed their own body, believing something because we've pushed this narrative. So this is problematic. And I think it's an honest assessment. Now, getting back to the ultimate conversation of this, right? And I want to kind of get back to the Dave Chappelle situation because there's a few things about the Dave Chappelle situation that we've kind of touched on, and I want to fucking touch on a few other things. And the reason why I do want to touch on a few other things is because, I want to point out these trans, how kind of anal they're being. They're trying to be, oh, you're transphobic, you're transphobic, you're transphobic. But the fact of the matter is no. And if you thought that from this special, then you really weren't paying attention to this special, because what Dave Chappelle in all actually was trying to do is he was trying to show how fucking black folks are pushed to the bottom of all of these other minority groups. And one of the biggest people that are doing it is the LGBT community. I want y'all to understand this shit. I've been saying this shit for years. 4 fucking years. The LGBT community has gone out of their way to use black folks as tokens. I'm going to say that shit again, and this is to my black LGBT people. You are nothing more than a token to the greater white LGBT fucking community in which you participate in. You are used. Your struggle is used. Your black history, your heritage, the things that we put into place as black people, they're taking advantage of it and putting your face in front of it. Period. All right? This is why Dave Chappelle said this. Wait, let me make sure it's on there. That's why Dave Chappelle said this.
I asked you, why is it easier for Bruce Jenner to change his gender than it is for Cassius Clay to change his name?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. You see? Pay attention, people. This shit is serious.
When Sticks and Stones came out, a lot of people in the trans community were furious with me, and apparently they dragged me on Twitter. I don't give a fuck because Twitter's not a real place.
I just wanted to play that because that shit was funny. Okay? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And so you got to pay attention to this type shit. You got to pay attention. Pay attention to what he said. I believe this is the right one. I believe this is the right article. The right one.
It's over. LBGTQ, LMNOP, it is over. I am not telling another joke about you until we are both sure that we are laughing together. I'm telling you, this is done. I'm done talking about it. All I ask from your community, with all humility, will you please stop punching down on my people? Thank you very much.
And guess what? He's absolutely right for fucking saying it. Here, I don't care if I get a strike. I want to play that shit again. Listen.
It's over. LBGTQ, LMNOP, it is over. I am not telling another joke about you until we are both sure that we are laughing together. I'm telling you, this is done. I'm done talking about it. All I ask from your community, with all humility, will you please stop punching down on my people? Thank you very much, and good night.
It is what it is. This is what they're doing. They're using the black community. And I don't care how people fucking view this. I don't care how you fucking see this. Because there are things that are going on in the black community that we have to fucking acknowledge. It is more fucking important that their feelings not get hurt than it is for all other communities to demonize and fucking stereotype black folks to being super aggressive, killer thugs, and a whole bunch of other shit. And ladies and gentlemen, like, let's not fucking play the game. When we sit here and fucking say when the LGBT when the LGBT sits around and talk about we've always had black folks' backs. No, you haven't. There's just as many gay, white, racist motherfuckers as there are straight. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
You guys are confusing the emotions. You think I hate gay people, and what you're really seeing is that I am jealous of gay people. Oh, I'm jealous. I'm not the only black person that feels this way. We blacks, we look at the gay community and we go, God damn it, look how well that movement is going.
Well, we actually say, look it, they're still in our movement, but, you know, go ahead.
Look how well you are doing. And we've been trapped in this predicament for hundreds of years. How the fuck are you making that kind of progress? I can't help but feel like if slaves had baby oil and booty shorts,
Whoa.
we might have been free 100 years sooner. You know what I mean? If Martin Luther King was like, I want everybody to get up on them floats, get your bodies good and shiny. You guys.
And the thing is, the fact of the matter is look, a lot of people don't really get this shit, right? But the gay community, the LGBT community, has rode the back of civil rights, and they have used it and they have taken it to a whole different level. But at the same time, we cannot take advantage of those same things that they are able to take advantage of, right? We're not getting any kind of special class citizenship like Asian or LGBT people. We're not getting nobody's fucking listening to us and the things that we're still dealing with. Again, I had showed it at the very beginning of this stream when I talked about fucking black women. Black women deserve motherfucking acknowledgement. Black women are being killed, kidnapped, raped, assaulted at tremendously high numbers, higher than fucking LGBT. But yet they are getting more press. They are getting more fucking acknowledgement. What about black women? And I've had a conversation with certain people before about this, and I said this shit. And again, I need black women to acknowledge this, stand on this, and kind of rectify this problem. Black women, you are semi-responsible for this. Because black women have always supported the LGBT community. I want y'all to understand this. And that's not a bad thing on black women, because that just shows the empathy in the heart of black women, right? Shows the morality and the moral compass of black women, right? But black women, the LGBT community, has taken advantage of you. Black women, they use you as a minstrel show. They use you as tokens. They use you as fucking, what is it called when they use you as fucking cosplay? And it's disparaging and disgusting. They don't give you credit for anything. They now don't give black women credit for anything. Before, like old school LGBT, in a lot of cases, they used to at least give it credit. Yeah, you know, my girlfriend, she's a black woman. She gave me the confidence. Now they don't. They just mock you and use you as a minstrel show. I believe the greater LGBT community, right, that we know today is bad for the black community. I believe that the black LGBT community is being used by the white majority LGBT community. So when I say it's bad, when I say LGBT is bad for the black community, I'm talking about the greater LGBT community, i.e. the white folks. I think the black LGBT community is being taken advantage of. I believe that they're being used as tokens. They're the ones that are in front, in your face. They're the ones that are actually making a lot of these movements happen whenever the fuck they need first recognition. And then what happens is what happens is all those original black LGBT people are then suddenly, when that movement starts to make moves and strides, they get pushed to the back, and all you then see is a whole bunch of white LGBT community, and then they take all the credit for all the movement, when it was actually the black LGBT and black women who actually pushed and helped everything that the LGBT community has ever fucking been successful at. And the black LGBT community and black women need to recognize you need to stop being used by these people. I'm sorry you have fallen for the okie doke. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings. I'm sorry if you want to call me transphobic. You can call me LGBT phobic. You can call me homophobic. Call me whatever kind of phobic you want to fucking call me. But the fact of the matter is the black LGBT community is being used. Period. Point blank. It is what it is. They're not being protected by fucking, the black LGBT community is not being protected by the white fucking LGBT community. The only time they ever bring up black fucking people in the LGBT community is when they want to put a spotlight on trans murders. And the first thing that they say is primarily black trans women. That's it. But they're trying to get something for the greater fucking LGBT community. Not for black. They're not trying to get justice for black trans women. And that's just facts, man. The black LGBT community needs to separate from the white LGBT community. I'm sorry. They are just like Democrats and Republicans. They are not doing anything for your interests. It is for the interests of the group, and the greater majority of the group is the white LGBT community. That's what they're using you for. They're using you so they can classify themselves as minorities. They are using you so they can qualify for all of these minority issues and minority situations. Affirmative actions and motherfucking to get into colleges and to fucking be accepted, and you're looked at as some sort of minority. That is because black LGBT people pushed that narrative for them. But do black LGBT get to take advantage of these same things? No. You don't benefit from what you are doing for them. They benefit. You are nothing more than a token for them. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Call it whatever the fuck you want. Guess who always calls out? Who's the LGBT people that fucking call out the black trans murders in this country? Black women. Who actually try to bring light to the black trans murders in this country? Black women. Not the white LGBT. The only time the white LGBT community ever brings up black trans murders is when they're trying to make a point of how they're being fucking discriminated based upon their gender or homophobia or motherfucking transphobia or any of this other shit. That's the only time they ever bring it up. The only time they bring it up is when they want to motherfucking benefit from it so they can get special protection, not when you need the fucking help. Where the fuck was the LGBT community when Ed Buck was out there killing black queer men? Nowhere to be found. Who was talking about fucking black queer men being killed by Ed Buck? That would be black men, black women, and black LGBT. It wasn't the white LGBT community. Sorry. If that's what you think, you're sadly mistaken. Show me fucking any kind of article from a white motherfucking LGBT group, newspaper, flyer, blog, fucking at least 2 years, 3 years before Ed Buck ever was motherfucking charged and convicted for killing the 2 black queer men. I'll wait. I'll wait. Show me one. Because black gay men, nobody gives a shit about black gay men. These black gay men were dope heads, and they were seen as black dope heads, not black LGBT dope heads, not black men, black queer men, or black men part of the LGBT community. No, they were looked at as black dope heads. They didn't give a hot damn. They didn't give a hot damn until black folks, straight black folks, and the black LGBT community started making a ruckus about that shit. It was black LGBT activists. It was black LGBT fucking folks. It was black cis folks, black cis males and females who raised the awareness on Ed Buck. And that's what ended up getting him caught up when another black queer man fucking ended up dying. It wasn't the white LGBT community. No, they were out there shaking their ass in their fucking assless chaps talking about Pride Day. Ladies and gentlemen of the black LGBT community, you're nothing more than a token to these people. That's it. We always sit around talking about how the black community has a fucking homophobic problem, transphobic problem. No, no, no. We have other problems, but we really, and don't get me wrong, are there certain neighborhoods and certain people, certain folks in black communities that's not very comfortable with that shit? Yes, absolutely. I openly admit it. But if you think that black fucking LGBT folks are not accepted in the black community, you must be out your motherfucking rabbit ass mind. Every single goddamn motherfucking church in a black church in America had a gay black fucking music conductor, organ player. We knew motherfucking Uncle fucking Ray Sean was a little bit fruity, had a little bit of sugar in his tank. We knew when he said, I'm going out with my friend. We knew what the fuck that shit meant. Well, are we really sitting here acting like that shit didn't happen? Yeah, the choir director. Are we really gonna sit here and act like that shit didn't happen? Stop it. Let's just stop playing these games. Yeah, the family was like, yeah, we don't agree with that shit. But still. And did we have certain families that fucking wanted to disassociate with certain LGBT members? Yeah, absolutely. Just like white folks did. But for the most part, we knew who fucking gay Uncle fucking Ray and motherfucking Auntie motherfucking, Auntie fucking Sally or, whatever. We knew what they meant when they said, that's my friend. That's my friend. We knew what the fucking meant. Black folks have been pretty fucking accepting of the LGBT community. Now, again, yeah, it might not seem like it because openly we're kind of against it, right? Because in a lot of cases, Black folks tend to be a little bit more conservative on the religious side. So we all went to church, right? And they all, being gay is bad. Being gay is bad. Being gay is bad. Being gay is bad. Choir, why don't you bring us into our next song? Serious? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Like, folks, we've been knowing about fucking that shit for a long time. So I reject the claim of there's a major homophobic issue in the Black community. I think there's a homophobic problem in people. But to try to demonize Black folks and act like Black folks just hate Asian people and gay people and white people and all these fucking people, but yet we out here fighting for all these other motherfuckers to get their rights. Fuck out of here, man. That's just the dumbest shit I've heard. Right. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody fucking gave a fuck. Keep it to yourself. Whatever. You think we didn't see Uncle Ray coming out of that one bar where only men be at? Stop it. Stop it. Let's stop playing this bullshit game, man. Stop pushing this narrative. Black folks, listen, we got LGBT people in our community. And we need to keep on supporting them like we've always supported them. But the fact of the matter is, Black LGBT family, y'all motherfuckers need to break the fuck away quick, fast, in a hurry from that fucking community who is only using them as tokens. And this is what fucking Dave Chappelle is talking about. Because in a hot motherfucking minute, a white LGBT will quickly get white as fuck and call the fucking police on your funky ass just as fast as a straight motherfucking white racist motherfucker. He talked about it in his special. That's the truth. White LGBT still understands at the end of the day, they white. They got the complexion for the protection. So if they call up the police, guess what? Police don't give two shits if they fucking gay, LGBT. They can't tell. They not calling them up. I'm LGBT. And there's a nigga over here. That's not what they say. They say, there's a nigga over here. Come get this motherfucker. They get white real quick, fast, and hurry. And let's not play this game like these motherfuckers don't know exactly what the fuck they're doing. Stop that shit. That shit is bullshit. Y'all sitting around here acting like motherfuckers is brand new to this shit. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This is why the fuck you're always gonna be seen as black first. You're not gonna, you can talk all that intersectionality shit all the fuck you want to anybody else that you want. But guess what? That intersectionality don't mean shit when the fuck white folks got a problem with your ass. They're not fucking calling up the police and saying, there's this gay nigga over here. When the police pulls you over, they're not pulling over the gay nigga. They pulling over the nigga. When the fuck you go to the hospital and try to get help, they not fucking saying, yeah, we're not going to help this gay man. He gay. No, they're saying we not going to help this nigga because that's what the fuck they've been taught through their medical science. Black LGBT women, when you guys decide to have a baby and one of your partners dies because fucking the hospital didn't fucking take fucking the proper precautions and you died while giving fucking birth, guess what? It's not because you were gay. You think I'm lying? Go do the research yourself. They don't even bring up the fact if you gay or straight. You're just a black female at that point. And let's just be honest about it. The medical field is analogous to black women that the police are to black men. Tell me I'm lying. I gives a fuck. Tell me I'm lying. I dare you. Tell me I'm lying. I dare you. Black LGBT family, you are black before you are gay. That intersectionally shit, that shit ends at the motherfucking door. That shit sound good. Those are white talking points to motherfucking white people in the LGBT community. That intersectionality shit, that's for them. That ain't for you. That shit's for them. That shit ain't for you. Think I'm playing? I ain't playing, man. It is what it is. So this whole Dave Chappelle LGBT thing, Dave spoke truth. He spoke power to truth on this. He called out the white LGBT community in this shit. If you think that Dave Chappelle was going on transphobic rants against all transphobic people and he was trying to get fucking more trans black women fucking murdered, you're out of your fucking mind. He was actually sticking up for you. He was telling the white LGBT community to stop fucking helping with this killing you and the tokenism and everything else. He said, don't shit on my people in order to get your freedom, in order to get your equity, your equality. Don't shit on my people. If you didn't see that shit, I don't know what the fuck you was watching. I suggest you watch it again and you get the fuck out of your goddamn feelings. Because the problem is still white supremacy. White supremacy does not give two shits if you gay, if you straight, if you motherfucking trans. White supremacy don't give two shits about none of that shit. And Dave Chappelle was trying to tell you that. So if there's anybody else that want to come up and speak on this, let me know now. I'll invite you into the fucking room. If you are not on motherfucking Haps, you're more than welcome to call in 702-909-1422, 702-909-1422. Make sure you leave your name and stay on the phone, and I will accept your fucking call. Okay. This is the call-in number to anybody that is actually on Haps. Okay. Anybody that's on Haps, you are more than welcome to ask to be invited up, and I will invite you up. Just be ready. 702-909-1422 is the number to call in. So this is probably going to be the last. That's why I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to call in, give your perspective on any of this that I've been speaking on. If you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm right, if you have a perspective that you think I missed, if you have something that you think I didn't touch on that maybe I should touch on, here's your time to speak it. You know what I mean? And I know that this is going to be a trigger to some people. I know people are going to be like, oh, you're transphobic and listen to all the things that you said. I'm not. I'll call a trans person or a woman. I don't give two shits. I'm just not going to call you a biological woman. I'll call you a woman. You want to be called a woman? All right, fine. I don't really give two shits. You a man, you like to suck dick? Go ahead. I don't care. You're not sleeping in my bed. You a woman, you like sucking on pussy? Good shit. Me too. I don't care. I voted for y'all motherfuckers to get married because y'all dumbasses wanted to get married. Like, who would want that shit? But whatever. Y'all wanted it. I voted for it. So I'm not transphobic. I'm not homophobic. I just don't like we promoting mental illness. Yeah, I have a few problems with the whole mental illness portion of it too. I think we should have a separate conversation on that, and I think I will be having a separate conversation on that specifically. I think that's a whole we kind of I lightweight addressed it a little bit earlier. I'm not big on the whole promotion of certain parts of this. Primarily the trans portion where we are promoting this ideal of gender dysphoria, which is technically a mental issue of mental illness. And we're pushing this ideal. Because I got a few different arguments. So that's a conversation I'm definitely willing to have, and I think I'm definitely going to be having it very soon. So hopefully you'll be here when we have that conversation, and we can get your 2 cents on it also, because I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. So I absolutely agree with you on that. But until we can, you know, until we can like get just our Black LGBT folks, safe, right? I, I felt like let's talk about this until we can make sure that the Black LGBT community could kind of understand that they're still Black and they're looked at as Black. They're not looked at as Black, gay, queer. That's the second thought. That's an afterthought. You're Black first. That's why you know what I mean? And so, let's get them to that side of the rope first and foremost. And then we can start talking about the mental illness portion of it. I'm all for it. And so maybe we will talk about that. Maybe I'll do the thing with maybe we'll have that conversation when it's me and Rob when he comes and he's able to get free and not cupcake on the goddamn phone because this nigga doesn't know how to fucking tell people, hey man, I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm gonna call you the fuck back. You know what I mean? You know. So maybe we'll have that conversation when Rob comes on, and we'll definitely talk about that. But I think it's a very important conversation to have also. I, but I like to kind of hit specific things at specific times because this is a very kind of lightweight, convoluted subject, right? The whole Black LGBT community, and all this shit like intersectionality, and then the trans shit, and then the gay shit, and then the fucking different gender shit, and then there's so much different working parts of this. You know what I mean? That we have to kind of come to certain senses is areas where we can come together and we can at least understand each other on certain areas. Then as we move through each area, we can start to understand each other a little bit better. So I started here, but we will definitely have that conversation for sure. Last opportunity, last time, I'm going to give out the number 702 909 1422 is the number to call in if you want to call in. And if you don't, we're going to fucking call it a day, man. We've been on for about 2 hours and 30 minutes. So you got a few minutes to call in if you fucking want to call in on anything that I have been talking about at all. Again, if you are on Haps, just let me know and I'll invite you up. And you don't even have to get on cam. So we're going to give you a couple more minutes. While we wait, how many people liked it? You got a minute? I'll bring you up. All right, you're up. I just sent you an invite. How many people actually liked it? The Dave Chappelle comedy. How many people didn't like it? How did you guys feel about that while we wait for Tony to get his camera and his mic working? You know what I mean? How many people liked it and how many people didn't like it and was not cool with it? I think we got Mike. We got Tony coming up. I think he's about. Oh, there we go.
Okay, yeah, my computer froze up like a motherfucker, boy. Hats be wearing my shit out.
Yeah, it be wearing my shit the fuck out too. What's up, Tony? How you doing, brother?
Chilling. Big ups everybody in the chat. See, Shatira was in there. I don't know why she don't never come up. Knowing good and damn well she check out all your broadcasts. Don't never come on. Shout out to Rob. Or one platform can't work two ass. Tell him I said so.
You already know.
I see Elijah over there. Elijah was in before Sports for the Blind. Good. Big up, everything is good. I watched it 2 nights ago. I enjoyed it.
Right.
It wasn't even a comedy special. He was just talking, in my opinion. And we was talking about this last night on Brother Shannon broadcast. A few of us been conversating about the whole, his whole thing and why they about to cancel him. They have no reason to cancel him. I'm gonna go ahead and
I don't think they're capable of canceling him, to be completely honest.
They are. People's pulling out from that one movie with the cheerleaders and shit. Man, we talked about that. And they was pulling them. People cancel their subscriptions off of that.
Yeah, that's them. I don't give two shits. This is Dave fucking Chappelle. Look, bro. Dave Chappelle had already canceled Hollywood before they could ever cancel him. He walked away.
$50 million.
And he still got his shit.
That's right. $50 million. And he said it in there too. He said, I'm the nigga that walked away from $50 million.
Right.
Big up for that shit.
He canceled the motherfucking industry.
Yes, and he's about to cancel Netflix if they don't get him straight. Because HBO Max and Apple TV was all the
same. No, and Netflix ain't gonna cancel that shit either. Let's just be 100% right, because this is his very last special, and they need every single goddamn penny that they can get from that special. The controversy is helping that get more views. Bad Seed Entertainment. Yeah, I know. I saw that real quick. let me acknowledge this real quick. I can't even put it up there. You said
Go for
I
it, bro.
liked it overall, but hated the fake Asian hate joke against blacks. Bad seed,
Where you seeing this at?
bad seed. He just wrote it in the room. And here's the thing. Me too, brother.
I don't see it.
Me too, brother. Couldn't stand that shit. That was one thing. I'm glad he only did but one joke or one. He did it and then he moved the fuck on because that shit irritated the fuck out of me. And anybody that's watched any of my past streams, you know I have actively proved that there is more hate crime from the Asian community
Oh yeah,
onto
yeah.
black folks than black folks on Asian. And that is proven by stats, numbers, statistics by FBI.gov. So
Yeah.
anybody who tries that shit, I'm not with that shit either. I absolutely hated that part of it. Thank you. Great point for bringing that up. Okay, go ahead, Tony. You.
Nah, you good. Big ups to Kevin over there. I didn't see that comment pop up. I don't know where it came from because I don't see it on mine at all.
Mm-hmm.
Was that on
Hold up.
Twitch or was that on Haps or whatever? Because I don't see it at all. But I'm on Haps.
Yeah, don't trip. I tried to globally unhide, but it says our auto comment moderation system flagged this comment as malicious or spam, but you can adjust. I've already adjusted the settings on my shit, and
Right.
I've done it at the leastest matter of strip moderation. We got a call coming in real quick.
I hear you. Go ahead. You good. You good. You
All
good.
right,
Oh, okay.
so
Now he just popped up. I see Bad Seed now, but I didn't see what he said before.
what's up
Yes,
with it?
Chili.
Hold on,
Stereo, I'm glad you got your hair done.
real quick. Let me take this call because you're on. You're
You good.
on. So let's take this phone call. Let's go. Bang. What's up? Who is this?
It's Shakira.
Oh, what's up? Why didn't you just call my goddamn number? Why you calling on the 702 number, fool?
Oh, I didn't know. You want me to call the phone?
No, it's okay.
Special
It's too late
ass.
now.
Oh, special ass until I said so.
Yeah, what's going on? Hey, Tony.
What's up, lady?
He
What's going on?
said, "What's up?" So real quick, Shatira, since you're on the phone, how you feel about the special? How you feel about anything I said? Do you agree, disagree? Fucking just break it down and tell me what you feel about this shit real quick.
Okay, well, first of all, I haven't seen the special as of yet, but I've agreed with everything that you said, and I think for me it just boils down to, I don't have a problem with how anybody chooses to live their life, what they choose to identify as. I just ask that you don't involve me in your delusion. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you. I am not mad at that shit at all. Do you think that is incumbent on us to recognize and acknowledge them by their delusion at all in any way, shape, or form?
No, I do. I don't think that was necessary. I mean, I guess socially it could be necessary. So if you have a particular name that you go by, then fine. I'll do that. If I need to say she or he to make you feel better, I mean, that's fine. But when it comes down to me acknowledging you as a woman, if you ask me, I'm going to let you know that I don't see you as a woman. I'm just being respectful.
I don't think anything's wrong with that. Tony, do you think anything's wrong with her, with what she just said when she said,
No.
if you want me to be a woman, I'm not going to acknowledge you as a woman.
Before you get offended by how we address you, you need to realize we're going to address you by how we were raised, and it's not necessarily to be discriminatory. But we also got to look at how black folks have been seen as niggers, and we don't want to be called niggers by people from another race. So on that aspect, with where they're coming from, to anybody who's transgender, and we do not see the change you made, we're going to call you by male or female. Everybody in the world, everybody in the planet is either male or female. If you decided to change and we don't know no better, we're going to go by what we see. And I know a bunch of you are ready to be mad and ready to get crunk, and you're tired of people getting crossed and having their opinions about it, but that's what the world is. You're trying to change the world, and you're making a change that's bigger than what's really happening, and definitely bigger than what's historical in all of our eyes.
Absolutely. So
yeah.
What about now, real quick, Shatira, since you're a woman, biological, beautiful,
Right.
sexy.
Thank you.
Okay. Look, let me ask you, how do you feel about this whole situation of trans women getting a lot more press when it comes to trans murders, but black women are not getting nearly as much press when it comes to black women being murdered. Nearly 4 women a day. When black women being kidnapped, 75,000 black women kidnapped. How you feel about that? And do you think that these two things are similar? Do you think that how do you feel about it at all?
Well, to be honest, it's kind of like a kick in the face, and I'll explain that. Because as you know, as of right now, you have more, especially black women. You have more black women that are refusing to validate trans women now. And this is just like recently that I've noticed. You have more people such as myself saying, no, I won't validate you. Whereas maybe 10, 15 years ago, I was just kind of like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I would be friends with you and I would acknowledge you as a woman. But remember that situation that went on, I think it was around 2016 or 17 when we were over on Scope. And I think I came in your broadcast when they were talking about, the MaxiPad box had like the female symbol. Mm-hmm. And somebody made a big to-do because they were like, just because you're bleeding doesn't mean you're a woman, because evidently trans men were upset that the MaxiPad box had a female symbol on it, so they changed it to
right. I remember that. Okay,
no.
yeah, I remember that.
And
yeah.
I knew that's when we were going to shit.
Okay.
I knew we were going to shit because never in my life did I ever think that we were going to be discussing when we know that really biological females are the only one that bleed. So yes, I do believe it's a kick in the face because we have supported these people. Black women, we supported these people. And then when it comes back to it, instead of them looking out for black women and putting all the power that they have on black issues, they're only the issues related to their sexuality. So yes, that's a kick in the face.
Right. Now, and my last question, real quick before I get to Tony, because I want to get your opinion on this too. How do you feel about, these trans, drag, gay folks using black women as the mutual shows, the minstrel shows and shit?
Yeah. So I think that I see where you're coming from with that, mm-hmm. But I itself has moved to a point where biological black women are not.
You're breaking up a little bit.
What I'm saying?
You're breaking up a little bit. Repeat
you get what
that.
I'm saying?
Yeah, repeat it. Repeat it because you broke up.
I think that in the past few years, what I'm seeing is black women, their fashion sense is moving more towards it's getting a little draggish.
Oh, so you think black women are starting to copy the drags now?
Mm-hmm. And that's what we've talked about it before when I was telling you about like the exaggerated eyebrows and the lashes and all of the contouring on the face. That's drag makeup.
Right.
Yeah. So as far as like the, and really a lot of the slang that we use, like, like even I say, oh, the shade. These are like gay terms. You see what I'm saying?
Right. But did they come from black women first, or did it come from the LGBT community and black women adopted them?
Well, see, that's what I'm not sure. I always thought that, they came from the gay community and then black women sort of adopted them. Kind of like, oh, you slave and girl, you better work and all that stuff right there. I thought that came from gay people in those little shows they have.
Right. Okay, I feel you. Tony, how you feel about what she just said and, everything?
The fashion statement to me, the black women in the homosexual community were doing the same thing at the same time. I don't necessarily think black women got it from the gay community or vice versa. Because if we go back far enough, they've both been doing the same thing as far as fashion and cosmetics. The biggest change has been the sexual change, if you will, or the impression of a sexual change. Implants, butt lifts, all that shit. Now, where they all got it from originally, it's from people who were trying to be the body of a black woman, which we can damn near go back to the Europeans and the white folks trying to do this.
Right.
So
okay.
You had
so
to
you're
make
saying
to make yourself look better and fuller. That's cosmetic. But the
right,
body changed.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying, so you're talking about,
I'm
when
saying the body change
the body
with the
changes. So
LGBT
big
community
ass,
and the black women,
that whole thick shit, that whole big
yes,
ass
big
thick
titties
shit.
and all that shit.
Right,
Yes,
right. And I
I
definitely
think a lot
understand
of that came from outside of the black community. Now, the homosexual community and black women, let's be clear. Go back to the church days.
that.
Both sides were doing the same thing.
Right,
The men that was trying to look like women were trying to look like the women that was in the congregation. The women saw the men were looking better than them, so they started trying to look better than them. It was going back and forth. Now, who started? We're gonna have to probably figure that out from somebody's origins. But those two been going back and forth for a minute. What you said about the black women, some of this being their fault. The debate's going to be what I just said. Who actually started it? I'll start with the homosexual men trying to look like the women, and then we got the women trying to look better than them.
right.
I
No,
think
I
I
get it.
think I'm gonna go there. And I know it's gonna be up for debate. I know it's gonna be up for conversation. You all verify and prove it and all this shit.
Right.
But the two right now.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Shatira. I'm sorry.
He said, "Go ahead."
It's interesting that he said that because I'm on my phone, so I'm having to look and see what he's saying.
You good?
If that's the case, if we're going by, because I do believe that black women are kind of like, we are pioneers in fashion and kind of like what's cool. That's black people, period. If that's going to be the case, especially going towards the, the movement towards the big ass and the small waist, then that means that everybody is basically walking around here in cosplay. That's what I don't like. I have no problem if you want to go enhance your body. But my thing is, I think you actually did a show about it a few weeks ago when you were talking about the black scent.
Yeah.
See, I don't like that. I don't like when you put on what you think is a black woman, like your Keisha Starter kit, and then you just think you're a black woman and you just change your voice and everything. I don't like that. I think that's discriminatory and it's racist.
Right. I don't like that shit either.
I want to put it more on sexist than racist because that's happening with both races. For real.
Yeah. I don't know, but what both races though?
I mean, black and white.
Well, no, because the fact of the matter is, bro, we have a long history of all the other groups trying to mimic black women, and it goes all the way back to Sarah Bartman, right?
Yes,
Let's just
yes,
be
that's where I was
honest, right?
starting. Right.
So that's number one. Then, and honestly, I think you have a lot of Latino folks that are actually doing the Latino LGBT community actually is the biggest perpetrator of the, big ass thing and trying to have the big ass, big titty, small waist thing. And,
Really?
I honestly believe it's them, and they've basically stolen the whole Sarah Bartman ideal. And I think that's what it is. That's just my personal opinion, because they all try to have this type of swag that they ain't never had. That's black women swag. I don't give a shit what nobody says.
Now there's a lot of us down
And
there.
also safe to say that as it relates to Latinas, and also the men as well, what they've essentially done is somehow under our watch, they have become honorary black people. So black people are around them. They use the N-word, you know what I'm saying? They're in all of our spaces, and they actually speak like they're, like they're actual black people, and we've allowed them to do that at this point. I don't know if there's any turning back from that.
Oh, that's a good point. I
Paul
can't
Mooney
really
covered
argue
that though. Paul Mooney covered that. He said they really are us.
Well, I mean, some of them are. That's not all of them, though.
I got you. So
You know
the
what
ones
I
that's
mean?
famous are the ones who's robbing from us that's down there. They going through the same shit we going through up here pretty much.
So he's saying that some of them are, he's saying that's, they're us. Paul Mooney implied that, that they are basically us. But the thing is they're not all us. I mean, we have certain we have Latin folks. We got black folks that are Latin, right, based upon the languages that they speak in the the places that they are, but those are still black folks who were forced to be over there. And I don't know if we can necessarily say that every single Latin person is us. I can't say that.
Well, we can't do that. Okay, let's just throw a name out there. Let's take somebody like Fat Joe, who is clearly a white Latino.
Right.
He's Dominican.
Okay. Why is he accepted in the black community as being black?
He was Dominican or Puerto Rican.
I thought he was Puerto Rican.
It's Puerto Rican. Yeah, I think he's Puerto Rican. But he was up in the Bronx.
To me,
was up
they're
in the
the main
Bronx amongst
perpetrators of it,
us.
the Puerto Rican.
Yeah, he wasn't
Right.
perpetrating. He's from up there, and he had a lot of support. He got a lot of back. He was pretty
But
much
they've been accepted
accepted.
in the community, and for all intents and purposes, are honorary Black people, right?
Right.
In a
I
lot
got
of cases, especially in like the East Coast, yeah, maybe.
you.
I don't really know East Coast dynamics, but you know, out here in the West Coast, we don't have a lot of Puerto Ricans. We have Mexicans
Mexicans, yes.
who
Right. Yeah. So from my understanding, you know, I live in the South, and we don't really, you know, deal with the Latinos like that down here. But from my understanding, in New
Where is
York,
she
they
at?
kind
If
of
you don't
all
mind me asking.
put it like this: the South is far more separatist than I think the East Coast or the West Coast is.
where
Right.
you
What part of
located, if you don't mind?
I am in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Oh, she ain't that far from
Mhm.
me. She an hour and a half from me.
Yeah, you close.
Yeah,
You
till
know what I
I'm in
mean?
Warner Robins.
I ain't rocking with that one, but I overstand. I'm from California. We look at it. I'm in California too. We look at that shit way different,
Y'all
right?
do. Now,
But
here's the
I
thing. Let me jump in on that. The
go
boy
ahead.
from Cypress Hill said it on this song. Did y'all get on him about that?
No, but here's the thing. You know what I mean? Um, Cypress Hill is kind of one of those kind of weird situations because the Latino dude from Cypress Hill, you know, he wasn't like super essay until fucking he became famous, to be completely honest. He kicked it with niggas.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But he dropped the N word in one of his songs.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's what we're
I
saying. So
mean,
it's the same shit with him and Fat Joe. It's the same
it's
aspect.
sort of the same shit. I mean,
Yes.
you do have, I mean, I don't know. See, the thing is where I'm at, you know what I mean? Like you got a lot of Latinos that say nigga, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? And shit. But the thing is I'm one of the first motherfuckers to be like, yeah, don't say that shit around me. Like I don't play that shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't play that shit. And I know, you know, the people that I've told don't say that shit around me. They respect it and they don't say that shit around me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't like it. I'm not big on that shit at all. I don't like that shit. You know what I
Especially with
mean?
the way
Don't
things are going right now. Like I told people before, leave the slang in our
I just think
demographic
we
the
have
same
to
way
be
we want to
very
leave the slang in
careful
yours.
as a community about who we claim to be us.
She's
Because
right.
us is becoming so, you know, Black people, the word black, just what blackness is becoming so, it's so, you know, it's ambiguous. It's kind of like diluted. You know, anybody can do it at this point.
Yeah, see, and that's what I thought. I was almost positive because be real, yeah, he's blood. He's a blood, and that's why. And you got to know that down here, most of the bloods was black folks.
Right.
So I'm
Originally, yes.
yeah. So it's like yeah. Let me see. I love black people, but I hate. Wait a minute. Hold on. Chris Rock, bring back the pain.
Yeah, he did say that shit. I love black people, but I hate niggas. Yeah, Chris Rock said that shit.
Yeah, but okay. But first off, okay. So Gloria, I don't know who you are, but Gloria don't sound like too nigga of a name. First off,
What did she say? I love black
I'm
people,
trying to
but
go on YouTube now so I can see this
right?
shit.
And now again, Gloria, let me tell you something real quick. I don't know you too well, but I know you being my boy's shit. I know you being my boy Rob's shit. Okay. I'm gonna need you not to even fucking write that shit the fuck out. Even if a black person say you gonna still have to use, you know, proper word etiquette, meaning the N word.
Either way, watch your
Okay.
goddamn self out here. I don't care how you
And
accept it at home.
I'm gonna need you to do that shit because I don't play that shit. Because when I see Latinos, white Latinos, fucking white folks do that type of shit, to me, what that is just an excuse for fucking white folks and Latinos to use that motherfucking word, and I do not like that shit.
Is
I
she on
don't play
YouTube?
that shit. She is on YouTube, and she is a Black Rob supporter, and but I want to let you know, do not do that in my streams at all ever again. This is the first and last warning you'll ever get from me. Please do
I
not
don't
do
even
that
see it. I
ever
got it
again,
pulled up too, and I
because
don't see it.
I do not play that shit at the fuck all. Like I don't play that shit at all. I don't like it. You know what I mean? Black folks can say that shit. Anybody else cannot. And it's just that simple. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You know,
I wanted to say hey to No Saint. I just noticed him down there in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah, I
what's
see
up,
No
No
Saint.
Saint? How you
No
doing,
Saint's
brother?
in there. I saw him earlier. What's good?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So we should hire 3 or 4 colored ministers. We don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the. Again, I don't know. Again, I don't know what your thing is about using this word. This is what I'm talking about. This is that shit.
I see her second comment. I see the comment on Hillary Clinton. I don't see nothing else.
Again, I don't care if you are quoting other motherfuckers. I'm asking you for the last time. Don't do that shit. Stop doing that shit. That shit
Is
ain't
she
even a
saying
little
quotes
bit
or she's
cute.
saying it herself?
She's saying quotes, but I don't even
Okay.
play that shit. I don't fucking even play that shit. You know what I mean? You know, I just don't play that shit. I don't like that shit. You know what I mean? I just really don't like that shit. I told you, I view that as just an excuse for folks to just keep on using that word. I don't like that shit. And I'm trying to be polite because I know that's one of Rob's people. But I'm going to need you to respect my shit. You know what I mean? So, and that's the last time I'm going to ask you nicely. So let's not do that shit anymore.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? That's the second time I done asked you this nicely. Let's not do that no more. Again, if you're gonna write these words, I'm gonna need you to put in and dash or in word or something. Figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out, girl. You know what I mean? You know.
Shatira, she ain't that far away from me for real. Everybody, you got a lot of East Coast folks up here, boy. Everybody off work today. I did not see this shit. I got my damn YouTube pulled up too. I can't see this shit.
Figure it out, girl. Do something.
He done told you twice. We're gonna sit back after this next one.
Oh yeah, see now she's peaked now. See now she's picking with X. Now you know people say X. Now see? She doing too much.
Yeah, now you pushing them back. See, you gonna make the nigga come out and the nigga, I swear to God. Lord have mercy, help this woman. Lord have mercy, help this woman real quick, fast and early before she catch lightning. Lord have mercy.
Oh shit.
And I am a motherfucking atheist, so woman, you are really pressing these last nerves of mine. I'm saying. Oh, Lordy.
Rob, come get your people.
Oh, shabba ding dong, woman.
Shatira, you better talk to him, Shatira.
Shatira, you better talk to this woman. Oh, Lord. Shatira, get this woman to oh, Lord, have mercy.
It's on. It's on.
Oh,
it's
woman.
On.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I know damn well you ain't my motherfucking sister, yo dumb ding badass bitch. Is you stupid? What the fuck? You thought I was fucking sitting over here playing? Bitch, I gave you a motherfucking warning, yo fat face motherfucker. The fuck is you lost your goddamn rabbit ass mind? Bitch, you think I don't know your dumb spanky ass ain't my sister?
Oh no.
What,
Oh
bitch?
no.
You is a motherfucking hoe ass European, bitch. You is motherfucking white. Bitch, fuck out of here. Bitch, fucking you been canceled out my shit. The fuck out of here, you fucking wicked ass devil bitch. You old motherfucking, I rebuke you, you devil whore. I rebuke you, you devil whore.
He gave you the warning. You know how much
Thought a
it took
nigga
for
was
us to
playing.
even
You thought
listen.
this shit was all candy, like fucking cotton candy and motherfucking bubblegum, bitch. You thought that shit. Really, you did. Ain't got no motherfucking kind of sense. Talking about, I ain't your sister. No shit, bitch, you weirdo. I don't have an ugly gene inside me.
Oh,
Bitch, I am
Lord.
beautiful and black. You don't see this pristine face? Bitch, you look like you're about 55 years old and you probably like 24. Fuck out of here. Your jeans are shit. My jeans are beautiful, bitch. The melanin is rich. You old motherfucking dog fucker.
I'm
Bitch,
double
you want
commenting on this
you
broadcast.
put fucking peanut butter on your pussy so your doggy will lick it, bitch. Fuck out of here. You
The
and me are
views expressed up
completely
here are not
different.
necessarily those of Haps, but it is of Izzy High, and I support him. I am Tony D on Haps.
Okay, I hear her. She's gone. Unless you can still see her over there.
Peanut butter for the dog.
Done made a nigga lose his shit. I was trying to have a productive conversation. This bitch wanted to bring the whole nigga out. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. You forced me to bring the whole ass nigga out and shit.
It's noon over here, bro. That's business.
Now niggas gonna have to
You
go
said something.
inside
You said
and drink a
something.
goddamn shake and try to detox from the caucasity of this bitch. Really?
The Caucasian.
Black woman. I'm sitting there like, this person is saying this, and I'm like, wait a minute. Then when she started talking about the pronunciation,
Oh
I'm like,
man.
oh, no, it's over. That's the trouble.
This
Oh,
old weird ass
shit.
bitch. The fuck out of here with this dumb shit. Anyways, back to our conversation. Since I was able to shake the nigga out of me and shit real quick. You know what I
You
mean?
deleted the shit out of her ass. You
Like
deleted the
the
shit out of
fuck
her ass.
is
I'm
you
sitting here looking.
stupid?
It's all off of YouTube. That shit is all
Y'all
gone.
must not realize who the fuck I am, huh? Let me introduce to you to who the fuck I am. Hi, everybody. My name is Izzy fucking High, okay? And I am a professional asshole. I'm double majoring in history and religious motherfucking studies, okay? Minor in sociology. And I will put my foot deep inside your ass without no care in the world, okay?
Through your brain. Through your brain. Through your brain.
So, just in case you didn't know who I was, that was just a quick introduction to who I am as a person, okay? Oh, Lord have mercy.
You see No Saints comment?
No, what'd he say?
He says, that's why I hated the Chris Rock skit. It gave some white people the excuse to say, yeah, that's what I've been saying.
Right.
I've always thought that it was problematic.
It was absolutely problematic. It was. But to be honest, it's like sometimes I feel like white folks come into black folks spaces, right? And we allow them to, right? We allow them to, especially when we're talking about comedians, right? Comedians who tend to be more popular, right? Especially our black communities, right? And we know where they came from. They came from black comedy clubs, right? They went to black comedy clubs primarily. That's where they got a lot of their jobs. That's where they got their come up. So when he was saying that, even though I totally understand, it did kind of give white folks this piece of caucasity, a little bit of juice, and I've been saying that shit for years. It's good now, right? I think he was saying that to black folks because black folks, we knew what that shit really was, talking about, right? You know what I mean? Whereas white folks and other folks, they just was like, they just heard some shit and they was like, oh shit, I've been saying this shit for years. You know what I mean? But I don't think Chris Rock was talking about it as in the good nigga, the bad nigga, when that's clearly how white folks be using that shit when they say, I love me some black people, but hate me some niggas, right? You know what I mean? They're talking about the good nigga, the bad nigga, right?
Right.
And so I think white folks misconstrued that through their caucasity because, how white folks are with, that whole,
habitual line step.
Right, the habitual line stepping. I love that. I love it when you say that shit. You know what I mean? It is definitely the habitual line stepping that really pisses me off. So, yeah. So, so you got anything else? I wasn't the biggest Chris Rock fan, but I did like him. I was more of an Eddie Murphy dude. I was more of a Richard Pryor dude, Paul Mooney dude.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Eddie Murphy and Eddie Griffin and Paul Mooney. Absolutely.
Eddie Griffin was a great comedian too. I really like Eddie Griffin too. You know what I mean? Who you like, Shatira?
I like Cat Williams. I like, of course, I like Eddie Murphy. Why don't you like Cat Williams?
I liked it, his original shit. I don't know about his newest comedies. I'm not really digging his comedies. I still think Cat Williams is real as fuck, right? But his new comedies have been kind of subpar in my opinion.
He's saying shit.
Well, yeah,
on the
I guess
low,
I would be
and that's
talking
based on
about
what
like the
happened to him.
older ones because I haven't seen anything from him in a while.
Right. His older
He's done
shit
a
is
couple, but
classics.
he
Yeah, he's done a
came under
couple.
so much attack, and they took his kids from
Oh,
him.
okay.
That's
Well, I
one
gotta
of the
look him up
changes
and
he
check it
made.
out.
Keep on going, Tony.
They took his kids from him. That's why he
Right.
changed a lot of his shit up. That was fucked up.
Right.
They went
Yeah.
at his ass. He got to be careful with the shit he say and do. So he's throwing shit on the low. He's throwing messages in subconsciously.
Right.
And you got to catch what he's saying. They screwed him over. He thought he was a badass. He got reality checked like a motherfucker.
Right. I think Eddie Griffin is probably one of the most underrated comedians of all time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think Eddie Griffin is it probably would touch my top 5 as far as comedians go. I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely over the past 20 years. Definitely.
Right. I think it'd probably go like a Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, old Eddie Murphy for sure. Probably Eddie Griffin. Oh, actually, it would go probably Paul Mooney, Richard Pryor, then fucking probably Eddie Griffin rounding out my top 5. Those would probably
I
be
don't
my
know
top
who
5.
was funnier between Mooney and Pryor. I think
No,
Mooney
Saint,
did a
don't
lot
you
of
dare
right.
say Sinbad is funny. Now you hush.
Oh, you know
he is
what?
funny.
No Saints,
He is funny.
no Saint. You have officially lost your black card.
Izzy, I have snatched it. I snatched it.
Officially, you are no longer allowed to fucking try to be cool with black people. Okay, until you
He came to
rectify
Tuskegee.
yourself.
At the cookout from now on, you only get a hot dog.
Right, right.
Oh, man.
All of your cookout privileges are gone. You can only have a fucking hot dog. You cannot fucking have anything else.
I can't front, man. He came to Tuskegee when I was down there, and he was good. He was saying a lot of real shit. Better Sinbad, he was good.
Look, again, Sinbad is actually underrated, but the thing is all you know of Sinbad is his shit that he has publicly, right? That's on the major shit. But if you go see Sinbad at a locally, right, at his shit, he do be talking some kind of real shit. I will acknowledge that. But my problem with Sinbad is that he only keeps that type shit for the local shit that's not ever on no special.
I'll give you that. Because like I said, when he came to the school, he had us tripping. He's just not cursing and he's not low down. That's the kicker. See, a comedy has gone to cursing, profanity, and being low down at people. But other than that, he's Bernie Mac, absolutely.
I like the Bernie. I was a big Bernie fan, but he's probably a top 10 guy for me. Robin Harris is classic. Baby Kids and
Robin Harris for sure.
Classic, right? You know what I mean? That's a name that very few people like ever bring up. You know
because he was so quick. His comedy stand was so quick. He didn't last 5 to 10 years.
So early. I think he needed a few more years, and people would be saying the same.
Right, absolutely. But I don't know about that because if you in the West Coast, I know this for a fact. Look, and he was in California a lot, and he did a lot of stand up shit in California, right? A lot of shit in LA. And if you was in LA at the time, he was everywhere. You feel me? So out in California, we knew Robin Harris. Robin Harris was, that black comedian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like, I give Robin Harris a lot more credit than a lot of people would actually, give him on a regular basis. You know what I mean? So, he had a lot of good years in it. So I fucks with Robin Harris too.
Absolutely.
D.L. Hughley used to be good, and then he kind of, I don't know, he kind of softened up a little bit, but he does still make some really good, valid points at times. Steve Harvey is a fucking sellout. Fucking that Negro. This fucking donkey lip Negro, I swear to God. Let me see. Who are some other names that we know, you know what I mean, that are really good comedians?
Oh,
I actually like what's the guy's name? Mike Epps is funny to me. Chris Tucker is funny.
All right, have a great night, sports.
be
Have a
good
great day,
sports for the
sports.
bond. Take care. Mike Epps is funny. Mike Epps is funny. She's
Mike
right.
Epps is hood funny. So
Yes.
I do like,
Right.
he's definitely hood ratchet funny, right? But I'm not a Chris Tucker dude. I'm not, I really,
Really?
I'm,
Okay.
yeah, I'm
Not
not a
recently.
Chris.
Not recently.
I
Def
am
Comedy
not
Jam, yes.
like, his appearances on Def Comedy Jam were classic. But outside of that, I was not a big Chris fucking Tucker guy. I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? That nigga who did that always said Shucky Ducky was funnier than him, though. You know what I mean?
Shucky Ducky, that was his name. Yeah, Shucky
Yeah.
Ducky was his name, yeah.
Was that Bruce or Earthquake or
Say it again.
was that Bruce or Earthquake?
Nah, Shucky Ducky was Shucky Ducky, but
it was Shucky Ducky, yeah.
Yeah, but Bruce was good. He was okay, but he wasn't like a great. You know what I
Now,
mean?
Earthquake was somebody that had me from when he was on Comment View.
Yeah, I
from
always
day
get
one.
that motherfuckers mixed up. I know that Bruce and Earthquake are both fat.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, them
Earthquake
big,
ain't that fat though. He ain't
big
that fat.
niggas.
He ain't fat as Bruce.
What about Patrice?
Patrice Neal. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that nigga was funny. I don't give two shit. That nigga was funny. Now that nigga died way too soon.
He did. It took him out. I don't even know why.
He should have been like a star.
Yes,
that
him
nigga
and
was funny.
What's that other dude that's up there? Corey Holcomb. That's a low down motherfucker right there.
Corey Holcomb is actually real fucking funny.
That dude is a low down motherfucker. Now she's in Atlanta. Ask her what happened to Jamario ass.
On YouTube, like, he's doing shows.
Who? Corey Holcomb?
Shows. I know he's on. Yeah, he's on YouTube. I know, but is he still doing like actual stand up?
Yeah, he still does stand up. He does this podcast, but he does stand up. He always promotes for his stand ups on his podcast.
I remember Hamburger. Lavelle Crawford. He killed that damn Hoodie Awards, that one episode. Oh my God, he had me rolling on that shit. Hamburger came out around the same time as Shucky Ducky. Yeah, he was out around the same time Shucky Ducky was on Comment View. I remember Hamburger. Both of them made their names to stop using profanity. And it lasted for a little bit. Okay. But ask her where she's at, whatever happened to Jamario's ass, because Jamario was funny too. Jamario and TP Hurd, they from where she's at.
Okay, Jamario and TP, what the fuck his name is?
TP Hurd.
TP Hurd.
Yeah, both of them were on Comedy View.
See, I don't watch a lot of Comedy View. I'm not gonna lie.
No, this is back from when I used to watch it. But
I was about to say, because they don't have enough niggas on Comedy View, to be honest. You know,
not now. But back then, it was killing.
Comedy View don't come on no more, do it?
Nah.
No, I'm talking about from back when I used to watch it.
You said from back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They was funny as shit.
Yeah, that's right. All right, man. So, any last statements on anything that we was talking about today?
Shatira first.
No, I'm good. I enjoyed it. I've been sitting up here doing my hair, so Tony called me out, so I came up.
Oh, you out there doing your hair and shit?
All them damn hairdressers, and you still doing your own hair.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Go live,
you
man.
already know I'm
go live. We don't have to go live.
Oh, now you landscaping. Oh, that's a whole lot of information. That's a whole lot of information, man. You know what I mean? Just saying.
To me, man, they got no reason to cancel the show.
I enjoyed it. I'll talk with y'all later on.
All right, then, sweetheart.
All right,
bye.
They got no reason to cancel the show. He made it clear what happened against him, what his real stance was, what he's done, how they came at him, everything. They got no reason to cancel it. He did a very well-rounded show. Honestly, to me, he wasn't biased. He wasn't blasting them. He wasn't calling them out. There's no reason to cancel him unless you are against either two and you're part of the community that he was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
seriously.
No, I feel you.
And he made it clear. He made it clear.
Right. I am a very this kind of been irritating the fuck out of me, so I wanted to do my own show about it. Right. Like I said, it's too bad that Rob wasn't able to join us because I would have liked it, some of his insight. But I know he did also do a show about it. What, yesterday I believe it was, and
With
shit.
the international one, yeah, I jumped up there with him for a minute.
Oh, okay. See, so
That
I
was a good
missed that
convo.
shit.
Yeah.
Right. So I missed that shit, and so it's okay, and I don't
you,
mind. I
you
don't
sound
mind.
hurt. You okay,
No,
nigga?
I'm a little pissed off, bro. I'm not gonna lie, little bit
You did
pissed off,
your 2
bro.
hours by yourself. You be holding it down. The two of you, you'd have been up here all
I'm
damn
a
through the
little pissed off,
whole
man.
holiday.
Look, I called him up and I was like, "Hey, Negro, I'm gonna need you to fucking, come do this shit with me." He was like, "All right, man, I'll even push my show." And then this nigga, I'm like, "Yeah, okay, hurry up." And then he was like, "Okay, I just got this phone call, so give me a couple minutes." This nigga's been cupcaking on the goddamn phone for 2 hours and fucking 3 minutes.
Man, he
You know
probably
what I
out there
mean?
getting them some. Let them be, man. Y'all do this shit tonight, man. Do it during the game. Ain't nobody watching the game tonight for real. Man, y'all handle
I
this
feel
shit
you.
later.
I feel y'all. I'm just hoping he watches this shit and he understands that I'm giving him a hard time. Oh, real quick before we leave, what you got on your crypto, bitch?
I'm glad you brought that up. Being the original motherfucker, and I do mean the original motherfucker that put me on Sheba, I gotta give you your props.
Ha ha! That's what I wanted to motherfucking
I
hear,
gotta give you
baby.
your props.
That's what I wanted to hear, baby.
Because Sheba jumped. I didn't even know. What's up, Blaze? I didn't even know. People started talking about it. I went down to look. I'm like, oh shit, I'm finally above what I spent. So, like I said, I ain't rich, but I ain't broke.
Wait. How many Shiba you got?
4 million.
4 million.
4 million. So I'm good.
Okay,
I was
that's
gonna
not too
buy. I was
shabby.
gonna buy $1 million a month off of. You told me. So it's been 4 months that I've been getting money a month on it because I bought it
Mm-hmm.
after you told me. And I was
Mm-hmm.
talking to one of the other dudes up here because he was big on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
We was having a crypto broadcast. A bunch of us were talking about it. I
Right.
had to pull out my Stellar money
Mm-hmm.
and bring some of my ETH money out because when my oldest graduated college, he came and moved in with me. So I pulled that money out and brought him up here with that. So
Right.
so that's down.
Right.
Like XRP still in play. I ain't got but 500 of them, but you couldn't buy nothing. You
Right.
can't do nothing with XRP, so that's sitting
Right.
still. My ETH is still good. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
letting that sit. That community I was in that I was telling y'all about before,
Mm-hmm.
all the regulations is fucking it up. I'm not even
Right.
going to front, but like I said, I ain't lost a dime.
Okay.
I
That's
really
right.
haven't lost a dime, so I'm not mad because what I put in is still there on top of and then some.
Right.
So
Right. So
I haven't
Shiba,
made. Go ahead.
real quick, Blazing Blasphemer said, "What is Shiba? Shiba is Shiba Inu crypto. Shiba Inu. And I've been kind of promoting Shiba Inu for a while. And I've been telling people buy up as many as you can. And I got about 20 million of them motherfuckers, 30 million, something like that. Okay. I'm up. And I think I've spent a total of like $100. I spent a total of $100,
Shit, I might have spent
$120.
40 or 50 and I'm at 120. I got
Right,
no
you're at
complaints.
120. And
Yeah.
I am let me see. Let's look at my wallet real
Let
quick.
me look at mine real quick. It was 120 earlier during the week.
Right.
Well, last week, yeah, it was at 120. And it came down a
And
little bit.
I am at $800 in just Shiba
Facts.
Inu. Okay. So because I got about 20 million of them motherfuckers.
Yeah,
So I got
I'm at
about
128.
okay,
So big ups
I'm
to
at
you.
about
Like I
$800.
said, we fuck around, I get debt free. We hitting
Right.
Vegas. That's gonna be your Vegas money right there. We hitting Vegas.
Right.
you
Right.
told me,
Right. I already
don't
told
trip.
you.
You said
I,
don't trip.
I told you. I said, hold on to it, nigga. Said, buy this shit the fuck up and hold on
Shatira,
to it.
let me
Because
give you
Shiba
some
was
advice.
cheap, ladies and gentlemen. It still kind of
Very
is
cheap.
cheap. It's under a penny,
I'm
right?
gonna give you some of the best crypto information I can ever give anybody.
What's that?
Once it hits a penny, you're too late.
No, you're not.
Period.
Cause
No, I
no,
say it like that on
no,
purpose
because
because look,
I
now, let me get
okay,
let me get them in
go
the game.
ahead.
It's below a penny right now. I
Right,
suggest everybody out here buy some.
right,
Any crypto that's below a penny that's getting news, you might want to go ahead and get a piece of the pie. I'm with you, no Saint. I hate the gas fees too. That's what's killing Ethereum.
right,
The gas fees is killing Ethereum.
right.
XRP, we know what's going on with the SEC case, and they've been waiting for this shit to be over since July.
Right.
Everybody like, hold on. If you don't have no XRP, you gotta wait. If you got something, don't touch that shit. Shakira, you want to go to Vegas? Trust me, I got to catch my flight out of your city. I'm an hour and a half south of you. I'm in Warner Robins.
There you
When
go.
this shit gets right, we're gonna work on the flight.
That's
Because
right.
I know where you at. You up there in the A. It's all good. You ain't that far from this, so we cool. But definitely, if this Sheba skyrockets and I get my debt cleared, I'm going to Vegas. Info man, what's good? I'm going to Vegas. Me and this motherfucker gonna be drunk on a balcony, some goddamn where, or a roof of some hotel. We're gonna be talking shit. We broadcasting that motherfucker. I'm letting y'all know right now.
Yeah, I'm ready to take a trip already. I mean, I already fucking my money
I
is
know the
paid
money I
off. I'm
need
up.
before I go out there, motherfucker. I
I'm
know the money. I need at least 25 before I go out there. I
I'm
need at
up
least 25.
600. I'm up 600
Ain't
strictly
enough.
on Sheba. All right.
That ain't enough. That's just my flight.
I'm on I bought Doge a long time ago when it was at like fucking 3 cent, 4 cent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's at 23 cents. So I'm still winning there. You know what I mean? Like even though a lot of people was losing, I've been winning ever since fucking way back. So
On Doge, yeah, you got it early.
yeah, I got in it way early. Cardano, you know, I got them. I put on. How much do you guys think you'll make? It depends, man. I'm
I don't
honestly,
know. I'm letting
I just really want
carry it.
Sheba to
Yeah.
hit a penny. If Sheba hits a penny, I'm good. I'm good. I'll get the fuck out and
Everybody will be, and it's going to go from there. It's going to go from. I'm not even going to move it
right. Like if it
because
hits a
apparently you
penny,
can
I'm
borrow
good.
money. You can borrow money off of the money that's in your wallet without touching it. I got to
Right.
find that rule out.
Right.
So my whole
Okay.
thing, once I get debt free, it's on and popping.
Right. Right.
Cause
No,
they
I get
killing
it.
the crypto market. Everybody in crypto, y'all know they killing the market for real. They all
Yeah, they're
over it.
trying to. They are definitely trying to.
They are killing that market.
Also, another one that I jumped on kind of early, and actually I put my kid's mom onto it too, was I got onto it Polkadot, right? I got on Polkadot when
Yeah,
it was at like $17
20 cents or some shit.
and no, it was like
Oh,
at $20, and I got in on it, and it's at 30 fucking it's at $35 right now.
you ain't lost no money on Cardano either. My homeboy was trying to tell me about it last year.
Yeah,
Y'all ain't lost a damn dime off that mug.
I ain't lost no money on pretty much anything. The only thing I think I've lost money on are like some of my smaller bullshit fucking investments. You know, I got
Stellar and
like
V-Chain probably be the ones that cost you the most right now.
yeah, V-Chain. I'm not losing on V-Chain, but I ain't winning on V-Chain either.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because I got in at 7 cents, it's at 11 cents. So
It's
it's
at
not
11
like
right now. Yeah, I thought it was
yeah,
at 20.
you know, so it's not, you know, that big. Raven Coin, I got it on Raven Coin at 5 cents. It's at 11 cents. So I'm not like winning, but I'm not losing either. You know what I mean? Everpedia, I got in Everpedia.
Everpedia. Let me look that up. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, Everpedia, I got in at 1 cent. It's only at 2 cents.
Everpedia.
Yeah. I got in on Ontology. Ontology, I got in at something like 98 cents. It's at $1.29. So I'm not losing on anything.
Facts.
But I'm not winning like I want to be winning.
Well, we
My
ain't rich.
Ethereum,
Yeah, we not retiring. Yeah,
my Ethereum is steadily going up, not like super fast, but it's steady going up. My bit is still steadily going up.
Yeah,
You know what I
bit's going
mean?
right
Like
back up to
so,
where it was beginning of the year. Exactly.
right.
This the
So
time of the
I'm
year when it rose last year.
right, and so I'm not doing bad. You know what I mean? So
Everpedia. Spell that one for me.
Everipedi.
Everi. Okay, I see it.
PEDIA.
Yeah, I see it. It said 2 cents.
Yeah. And I only
Who's
got
the
in at like
spam on you?
I'm waiting on AMC also.
AMC, everybody's
Really?
jumping on that. Yeah, everybody's on AMC. Shatira, you talking about Stellar or CE? I don't know what CELR is.
Let me see. See,
I
now
don't know
I'm a
what
little
that is.
interested. Let me see if AMC.
Everpedia. Yeah, they don't got no info on that bad boy. I was trying to watch Guapcoin, but it's not doing too good.
Right. Another one that people are are kind of fucking with is that other one that they're trying to. I think it's kind of a pump and dump scheme, but it's that the what's your hottest recommendations? Honestly,
Ethereum.
my hottest recommendations right now, honestly, if you want to get in at the gate, and right now you're just gonna have to be patient with it, is Shiba. I think Shiba still got some ways to go. I still think there's a long ways for Shiba to go. I think we're gonna I personally think Shiba might hit, between a penny to 10 cents. So anything that you invest into Shiba right now is just gonna be nothing. So you gotta pick up millions, right? You gotta pick up like 20 million, 30 million. You know what I mean?
If you got
Um
the leeway, whatever you got the
if
leeway
yeah, if
for.
you got the leeway for it. If you don't, pick up 5 million, 10 million,
I'm gonna
right?
tell you. I'm gonna tell you Tron myself. Tron is right up under Ethereum. They're going to come together, and Tron is at 9 cents right now. I got on it back when it was 2 cents. That's the other
Right?
one I forgot to tell you about. I just didn't pull that money out at all yet.
Oh,
I'm gonna let that sit.
you haven't,
Yeah, I'm
huh?
sitting it. I got to put $30 in there, and it's sitting right at about 90, and I got about another 120 I can pull, so I ain't lost a dime once again.
What is
Let me
it
see
called
what it
again?
is.
Tron?
Tron, yeah, just like the movie
Oh,
Tron.
Tron. Okay. So
Yeah, I got
that's it. What,
97
like
on it right now.
it's what, like 9 cents right now?
Yeah, I got 1,000 of those, and I'm gonna sit at 97. I still got about another 140 I can pull. Everybody pretty much made their AMC money. It's about yeah, it's going to jump again. AMC hasn't opened all the way back up yet. The movie theaters open up, but they're not full because people still watch it from
Oh,
home.
you're talking about when you say AMC, you're talking about stocks.
Yeah, that's stocks.
Yeah, okay,
JB,
okay.
your residence, he's another one that was big on the crypto when I was talking about it earlier this year. Is he just so you know?
Mhm.
He was big on a lot of it, and he's over in Sweden. So
Oh,
he can give
okay.
us another international aspect because the people in Europe are doing better than we are in the United States due to the regulations. People don't want to deal with the US regulations. That's what's killing
Mhm.
us over here. But they also jumping in on everybody who's trying to invest and put themselves overseas. They catching all their asses.
Right.
They
No,
catching
I get
all
you.
their asses.
No, I get you. I get you. I get you.
So what
Well,
we got, let us sit.
yeah, so right now it's like the thing that I'm kind of like I'm really on. I really honestly really like is Shiba. I've always loved Litecoin. A lot of people think that
Yeah,
it's kind of too slow, but it's picking itself back up. So I'm really loving fucking the way Litecoin is coming back and it's consistent. So I'm really liking Litecoin. You know what I mean? You know, like that's a good one. There's a couple that I like, but they're just not doing what I thought they should do. I think one that's going to pick itself back up right now is kind of dropping is Maker. I like
yeah. You
Maker.
told me about that. You
I
told me about
like
Maker.
Maker. It's dropping right now, so it's kind of a good time to start getting into it, but it's so high. So it's kind of like, so that's that. Um Another one that I like because I feel it's a little bit more stable is kind of like it's really high, just like Bitcoin, but it's Yearn Finance. I like them too. But it's a matter of getting in at the right place and making sure you don't kind of shit on yourself and lose money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, but as far as I kind of break mine up to categories, I break it into the low ones and then the medium ones and then the kind of more stable shit, and I break them up in categories. And so I love getting these smaller coins and riding waves and then jumping the fuck out at peaks. I love doing that shit because I make a lot of money doing it. So I love it. You know what I mean? So things like, you know, um, something like Shiva or what is it called? There's one called Font. What the fuck is it called? It's the fucking one, the name of fucking Elon Musk's dog. You know what I mean?
the other one that was like Sheba, they was talking about it earlier this year. I know what you're talking
Yeah, it
about.
was just like Sheba. And I forget its name, but I got it and it jumped up for a little while and I fucking actually made a few $100s off it. It's not Doge. It's not Doge.
It's
It's
not
it
those, it's
starts
one
with an
that's just
F,
like it. Yeah, I know
but
what
it's
you're
just
talking about.
like Doge, right?
Shatira, big ups for telling me about this seller. I see what it is. I'm gonna keep my eyes on it now. Appreciate you, lady.
So
Yeah.
it's like it's Fonty or some shit like that. But I bought some, like I bought some a while back And just because I was kind of into buying a whole bunch of dog coins, you know what I mean? And yeah, like, and then fucking what I did is I fucking bought a whole bunch of them bitches, and then after I
Baby
bought it,
Sheba, yeah, Baby
fucking
Sheba. I think he's right. That's what it is, Baby Sheba.
right. And then what the fuck it is Elon had talked about it, and it shot the fuck up, right?
Uh-huh.
And it shot up like 2,000%, and then I just cashed that shit the fuck out.
Smart, because everybody they jump up in their tank. You right.
I bought a whole bunch of that. I cashed the fuck out of that shit, and I
Mm-hmm.
got out because I don't really know nothing about it, but I just bought it and then shot up, and then I just cashed the fuck out of it. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm done. I'm not even gonna play this shit. I'm just gonna I'm gonna take my winnings and walk away as a winner. You know what I mean?
I might do something on it tonight. JB, you stand by. I might do something on it tonight. I gotta tell the how to do this evening, but we might do
What,
something
you
during the
talking about
football
doing some
game.
crypto talk tonight?
Yeah, I might do some crypto talk tonight. It's about time. I've been
That's right.
slacking, so let me see what everybody's got going on for real.
Well, I
It
mean,
was just
just
like
2 days
growing up and
ago, had you have
catching
checked your shit 2 days ago, Sheba was monsterly, like killing it. You just froze up. I don't know if that's
yeah,
me, but
yeah,
two
I see
days
you. It's
ago,
me. It's me.
okay, Sheba shot up, fucking
Yeah.
shot up, right? And I had almost $1,000 worth of Shiba, and then it dropped like the
Uh-huh.
last 2 days, but it's running itself right back up. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Important to have an exit strategy. Good that you
Yeah.
cashed in. Absolutely. Like, I will
Yeah.
fucking follow trends, but if the way I look at it is, I put in a lot of money when I follow in trends. I put a lot of money to get a lot of return. And as soon as that shit hits its height, I jump the fuck out, bro. Like, as soon as like it looks like it's starting to, turn a different way, I jump the fuck out. Those are just those trend fucking those meme bullshit coins that I'll do, and I try to make money from that. That's one of the ways that I've actually been making money, is by
Yeah.
jumping in on these meme coins, riding the wave, and then getting the fuck out of them motherfuckers real quick. You know what I
Yeah, it
mean?
making more sense now the way that they're doing the regulations. I'm not mad at you at all because
Right,
they killed everybody by telling everybody it's gonna be tax free and you ain't gotta worry about it. They snatching all their asses up.
right.
They snatching
So
all their asses up. I ain't gonna hold you up, man. It's almost one here. Let me go chill out with Jason for a little bit. Appreciate you as always. I'm glad you finally broadcast at a time I could see your ass and have time to sit up in this motherfucker.
no, absolutely, man. I mean, we're still going to do it on Wednesday. We're still going to have our Wednesday show. I just wanted to talk about this Dave Chappelle thing before, what triggers are you looking at
Take a position.
before taking a position? Really, it's like I can't even tell you. I'm going to be honest, bro. Um I have this thing in my head where I just notice things, bro, and I'm just going to be honest. This is
Instinct.
it's just like I kind of read the grass, and I just kind of look at certain things, and something tells me, like, it all clicks in my head, and it tells me, get the fuck out now or stay in for a little bit longer. And I know I'm looking at trends of going up, and I know there's sometimes breaks, right? But I'm looking for certain type of breaks, which is like when they do these steep drops but then shoot back up.